like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show, weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
We can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillar. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out to hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media. And you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead and hit that like button, because you already know what time it is. And you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery at this point. You've seen other people do it. You've seen some people do it well, but what you have not seen is anyone do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out, share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this. And it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Don't we want the world to be a better place? Of course we do. So share the content now. Share it through your social media. Share it through word of mouth, or even text someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, folks. Today we are going to be talking about very interesting subject matter. I'll say that at the very least. Extremely interesting subject matter, but y'all, somebody got to do this the way it needs to be done. So we're going to deal with this. It takes a village until the village catches your kid red-handed, okay? Yeah, people love to say it takes a village. They do, but they never think about if the village catches your kid in the act, okay? So it takes a village until the village catches your kid in the act. And y'all, we gonna deal with this situation that happened, maybe about a week ago now that this has happened. Y'all, this is terrible. That's all I can say, y'all. You know, I started doing a little research on this, and I'm gonna say this got worse and worse and worse and worse. Okay, shout out to the people of Chicago, y'all. This is one close to home, y'all. Close to home. All right. We had a situation where a young lady was walking her kid home from school, which, when you think about it, is a good thing. Okay, is it good for a parent to walk their kid home from school? Of course. Like, how is that a bad thing? Kid walking their kid home from, well, a mother's walking her child home from school. And y'all know what happened? These young punks, they walking up and down the street. No, I'm gonna stop. That come from a CD. Shout out to Twist. But y'all, do y'all understand these kids? These kids, I mean, they saw a mom walking a child home from school, and obviously the kids had beef with the student. Okay, the kids had some beef with the students. All right. Now, the theory, or at least the father's theory, is that the kids don't like this one particular student because he basically be dressed fresh to death on them, y'all. He's stunting on the kids. He's stunting on the other kids. A father is in his child's life. Okay. So his kids, hair gets taken care of, nice clothes on, shoes in good shape. I mean, if everybody else is quote unquote poor around you, and then your daddy got you looking a little fresher than everybody else, y'all, let's be realistic. These are children. That can turn into a bad thing. So is the dad right? Possibly. Y'all know what? Hold on. I ain't even done my regular thing. Let me hold on for 1 second. First of all, let me say shout out to the people who become financial contributors to the channel, because everyone helps with the channel. The people who gives the views, especially those who give views on a regular basis. Shout out to all of you. Shout out to all the folks who leave comments after the stream. Y'all definitely help with the algorithm. Shout out to the people who hype me up every chance they get, because I do appreciate all of that. Definitely appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody who hit the like button. And remember, y'all, it doesn't make a difference when it was streamed. Just hit the like button anyway. Okay, just hit it anyway. Shout out to all y'all. Okay, but shout out to the financial contributors, people who go above and beyond. Okay, people who go above and beyond to make this as great as it is. So shout out to A Split Gym. He is our sponsor of today's stream. Shout out to A Split Gym. Shout out to you, my brother. Appreciate you big time. Appreciate you big time. And let me say something to some of the first people to check in this morning, because I don't want to skip that. That's always important. When you start a show, it's always great to see people who check in when you're about to get started. So shout out to my main man, Gyogami. He is what we like to call around here the Highlander of today's stream. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you, first one in the building. Good to have you. Good to have you. We got my main man, Trill Billy, representing as he always does. Hashtag long live the habitual line steppers. Hashtag Negroes in the wilderness. Hashtag dignity over vagina. Hashtag Al Gore's babies. Hashtag Hell Hydra. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you. The Great Black Reset is in the building. Great to have you. Great to have you. Right along with the Righteous Teacher is here as well. My main man helps keep the order around here, even when I'm being a little bit slow about it. And I do be a little bit slow about it, y'all. Everybody got flaws. That's just one of mine. So, you know what? It's okay to ask for a little bit of help sometime. So, what did we do? We asked Chef Mike for some help. So, shout out to Chef Mike and the pit crew for helping keep things in order around this joint round here. Okay. Shout out to Inspired Truth Broadcast. I see you, my brother. I see you. Gold P is in the building. Great to have you. Great to have you. Floyd Thompson is here. Yay, yay. J-Bay is in the house. Great to have you. Great to have you. Afro Merchants in the building. Boot Camp, what's up, my brother? What's up? Dusty Nuts is in the house. Great to see you, man. See you in a while. Great to see you. Good to have you aboard. Shout out to my main man, Mr. Suge, to you. Pit crew representing. Glad to have y'all here. Glad to have y'all here. Mr. Suge, to you say, been waiting on this particular stream all week long. Well, it's finally here, my brother. It's finally here. And since you said that, I'm gonna say, y'all, Mr. Suge, you put me up to this, y'all. He put now. I'm kidding. We had to get to it. We had to get to it, y'all. We had to get to it. Real talk. We are dealing with a situation where I'm gonna go with the father's theory, because I have yet to see anything that presented a better theory. You got a dad in his child's life. Okay? Dad is doing what dad's supposed to do. He making sure his children are presentable when it comes to school. And his theory is, which I'm gonna have to roll with. Like I said, until somebody gives me a better theory, I gotta roll with what it roll with. He say they don't like his kids. Why? They too fresh. So fresh, so clean, and it's a problem. Okay? Now, let's be real about this. Let's be real about this, y'all. Could there be an area where black people, happen to be located? Okay? And some of those black people are considered poor. And now, I'm not saying anything bad about black folks being poor. Okay? I don't come from money myself, so I ain't tripping about nobody being quote unquote poor. But if that is your scenario, where you are in poverty, and then you have a kid that dresses a little bit different, look like they working with just a little bit more money than some other folks might be working with. Okay? Would some kids start tripping about that? Now, if you know anything about the hood, yeah, absolutely. They would trip about that because you stunting on them. You may not even be trying to. You a kid. You don't even understand. You don't even conceptualize stunting on them like that for real. You may know about it a little bit, but you ain't really stunting on nobody because you ain't got your own money to do it like that. But, your parents got you decent, so you stunting on them. It is what it is. They don't like the fact that your shoes is clean and crisp, okay? This dude ain't got no creases in his shoes. What is wrong with this dude? He ain't got no crease. He got on all the nice coats. Now, back in the day, it was different for me what the nice stuff was. Back in the day, it was the starter jackets, okay? Y'all know how it was. You had some kid, well, at least some of y'all that grew up something like me, okay? Because I wasn't never in the projects, but we ain't come for money like that though either though. Okay, I wasn't never in the project, but we ain't come for no money. I got my peoples in the projects though. I got peoples from the projects, so I can understand. Okay, when I was a little kid and the people had the starter jackets, and I ain't had no starter jackets. I get it. Okay, people was walking around with the Jordans on. I couldn't get no Jordans. I get it. Didn't get my first pair until I think I was 35 years old when I got my first pair of Jordans. Okay, I understand. Okay. Now, I wasn't taught to be no hater. I'm just here. I wasn't taught to be no hater. So I didn't get mad at people for having stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it was a couple kids out there who really had some stuff. They really had some stuff. One of my best friends growing up had all the stuff. Now, I eventually figured out more than likely they had drug money in their house. Okay. More than likely, they had drug money in their house. So yeah, he was always fresh. He was always fresh. Shout out to the homie. Shout out to the homie. Okay. So I can understand the father's theory. And I think the father's theory has to hold some weight unless someone can present a better thing. Y'all, now I watched a lot of stuff about these kids. Okay. I watched a lot of stuff about these parents. I heard people, presenting all type of interesting theories. I paid attention to some of the facts that people brought. I'm gonna say, y'all, this whole story was a mess, and I'm gonna be gentle somewhat because these are children, and I've said plenty of times I am not gonna hold a child at the same level of accountability that I'm gonna hold an adult. Not gonna do that, okay? And I'm pretty sure since it's been about a week, y'all seen some of the stuff that's going on. Did y'all see that sad little apology one girl gave y'all? That sad little apology. I don't know who it's been some controversy about who the ladies was in the background. Some people say it was mom, and some people say it was auntie. Some people say it was, mom and auntie, family friend. But it was a sad little apology. So some girl was I'm gonna have to agree with what somebody else said. It looked like she was made to do it. And the girl was trying to give the crocodile tears and couldn't come up with none. Little girl trying to cry on camera. That girl was having too much fun in that particular video, y'all. I'm just going to say that young lady was having too much fun. It was supposed to be a day of reckoning, okay? It was supposed to be, We gonna put this girl on camera and hold her accountable. That girl looked like she was having too much fun in that video. Now I understand y'all may say, well, wait a minute now. Her people was right there on her. They was on her. Were they? Were they on her case? And I might put a link up. Y'all, I'm probably gonna put a link up after the show. Okay. Cause I've watched so much stuff on this. I'm gonna guess the best one that I saw piecing stuff together. I'm gonna put that link up. Okay, I almost did it before the show, but it was kind of a lengthy link. It was kind of, a little lengthy, a little more than 30 minutes, about 39 minutes or so, but it gave a lot of good information. Okay. And shout out to the content creator who put it together, because I'm gonna say they did a lot of the work I needed to do for me. So I could appreciate it, even though I watched a whole lot of folks and I got a lot of clips that I could see, y'all. Dad was at work. Now I'm going to say this. I am going to say this, y'all. This very much seems like a single mother issue, because even the woman who got jumped on, who happens to be suffering from sickle cell, because there's some people who's like, man, she ain't doing enough to protect their kids. Well, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all have found out possibly by now, or I hope y'all found out possibly by now, that the woman was suffering from sickle cell. Now, I don't know that they were married, y'all. Okay, I don't know that they were married. I was hoping it was married, but I don't remember hearing them with the same last name. So I don't think she has a husband. Now, father of the kid is present in the child's life, but I don't think she has a husband. Okay. The father was very upset when he found out about the situation going on. Okay. I saw him riding with a gentleman. They wasn't even showing the father, but they were saying that this was the father next to him, and he was extremely upset when this situation went down and he found out about it. People asking where was he at the time? He was at work. Okay, now I'm gonna say, well, that sounds like where he's supposed to be. He taking care of himself. He taking care of his kids. He was at work. Okay, I don't have no issue with that. Dad doing what dad's supposed to do. Okay. Shout out to Trail Bennett. He said, I think they just shacking. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Because I was looking at so much information, and so much stuff was kid focused. I don't even know if they live together. I don't even know that they live together. Okay. So they could be shacking up at this particular point. They may not be. Okay. Because I even seen somebody who was trying to fake like a GoFundMe or something, or fake I ain't gonna say it was using GoFundMe. I think they was trying to use like Cash Apps or something, saying they was gonna give money to the family, and they was gonna move the family like instantly or whatever. It was like, it was even people doing stuff like that. So it was a mess out here, y'all. It was a mess trying to look into all these different things. Okay, it was a mess. And I'm gonna say, y'all, I went through a lot of stuff that wasn't quite as pleasant, because I'm gonna tell you what, it was a lot of women that I saw reporting on this, and y'all know how women can be with the content, but you got to sit through the stuff to find out where the video clips and all that stuff is, so you can see something yourself. And y'all, this stuff seemed as typical as ever. Okay. Unfortunately, almost what you would expect from a bunch of single mothers. Okay. Now, I thought about something. Okay. And I know this could bring in a bigger rift. But see, y'all, technically, if we want to be technical about it, a child is supposed to be with somebody as long as they're a minor if they're out in public. Okay. Well, there are curfew laws. I'll say that there are definitely some curfew laws. Maybe we just need to go back to your parent got to be with you when you go somewhere. Now, this could turn into an issue because kids go to school. Well, what if your parents had to pick you up from school? What if kids weren't just allowed to be out in the street? You're being a minor. You just can't be out in the street by yourself. Would that clear up some issues? And I know some of you may say, well, how people going to do that? People got to work. Well, do both parents have to work? And I get it. There'll be some people who say, well, You know, households need two income. No, they don't. They just need one that's big enough. That's all they need. They don't need two income. They just need one that's big enough. All right. And some people say, well, that's extreme. Is it? Is safety extreme? And let's get into it, y'all. The kids. I understand kids getting mad at a boy. I do get that. I'm not saying it's right, but at least I can wrap my mind around it. Okay, you're mad at some boy. He dressed too fresh. And that's the theory I'm going with. Again, until somebody presents a better one. Dude dressed too fresh. Kids want to mess his stuff up. How do you mess up somebody's clothes? You get into a fight with them. You tear their shirt. Okay? You know, you rip it up. You mess their jacket up. You pull. Or you just take it. Okay? You know, you take an item of clothes from school, you just never wear it to the school no more. And let's keep it real, y'all. It's not like it ain't parents out here that will let their kids steal from other kids because then they just got stuff that they know they didn't buy their son or their daughter, you know, but they wearing it to all the family events. Like, we finna go to grandma's house if they don't live with grandma already. And then they put that jacket on that parent never paid for. Okay. What they think he came from? They think the store dropped that off too. Okay. Store can't drop off that starter jacket. Now I'm just saying that because that was the jackets back in my day. Okay, I don't know what I ain't got kids, so I ain't got to worry about it like that, y'all. I ain't got to worry about it like that. You know what I'm saying? These kids be just a hot mess out here sometimes, but I ain't got to worry about it like some of y'all have to worry about it, or some of y'all have had to worry about it. Okay. So, you know, you let your kid basically do whatever they want because they can wear stolen clothes right there in front of you. So things like this do go on. Okay. Now, shout out to Mr. Sugar. He said, Roger, there is one particular thing no one seems to be mentioning. I'm pretty sure I will get to it, but let's see what you're going to say. These were girls doing all this jumping, not young men. Mr. Sugar to you. Shout out to you for that one, brother. Shout out to you for that one. Well, you know what? That's a very good point. That is a very good point. Because I will say this. I didn't see no footage of boys acting the fool out here in this particular scenario. I didn't see any footage of a boy swinging on nobody. Okay? I ain't see none of that. Okay? Then there was a boy supposedly getting it all on film. But he wasn't part of the attack. He was just getting it all on film. Okay? Now, shout out to the Great Black Reset. We're gonna correct this right now. He say starter jacket. Roger had money growing up. No, player, you ain't gonna put that on me. I ain't say nothing about Roger money. No, we don't. What you talking about? No, I ain't said other kids had starter jackets. Well, let me make that clear. If I didn't say, let me clarify that. That was the jacket back in the day. I didn't have no starter jacket. Okay. Starter jackets were worn around. I didn't have no starter jacket growing up. I had some fly stuff, but it wasn't fly in the typical way, y'all. It wasn't fly in the typical way. So no, that wasn't my starter jacket. That wasn't my starter jacket, y'all. That wasn't my starter. Baddest thing I had, boy. Now I did have this man. It was a Carl Canai coat, man, that I ain't never seen another kid with. I'm not saying it was like a one-off, but you know, that was a bad mamma jamma. It was a Carl Canai, if my memory is correct too. Oh, that boy was cold. If I would describe it, I ain't gonna go into all that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna go into all that. I'm just saying it was fly kids around. That's what I'm saying, y'all. I don't come from money like that. So it was fly kids around me. All right. You know, some of the parents was doing a little extra. Okay. Some of them had no jobs and they did some extra. Some of them had some jobs and they did some extra. So some extra was being done here and there. I know how the game go. Folks was out there doing extra and they was getting it. So yes, these girls were attacking these children. Now understand, y'all, it wasn't just the one kid that got jumped. Like the siblings that just happened to be with their mama too. They went after the siblings. Ain't that about nothing? They went after the siblings. Like, we just gonna get the whole family. Now, the thing is, y'all, back in my day, if you saw a parent, you was supposed to hold that beef till later on. We ain't gonna get you in front of your mama. We at least respected the adults, okay? We ain't gonna get you in front of your mom. We gonna get you, but everything kind of stopped when the mamas was walking through. Not even the mama, just some adults walking through. Like, our kids will talk all kind of crazy. Blah, blah, this, blah, blah, this. We talking, then some adult come from around the corner, everybody be quiet. And you let the adults go past. You stop everything. Okay, we didn't even curse in front of the adults. Okay, you stopped everything. You let the adults get out of what you believe is an earshot, then you're right back into it. So to have this situation where these girls brutally attacked, and y'all know, I looked at the footage, y'all. Y'all know the first lick in this fight, from what I could tell. The first lick in this fight was the little girl who was trying to come up with the crocodile tears, who couldn't quite come up with the crocodile tears, who said she was out there being a follower, y'all. That girl said, I was out there being a follower. Now, I'm pretty sure her people prepped on what she's supposed to, quote unquote, say. And they even said themselves, y'all, you can't really expect her to sound like an adult. We talk this way because we're adults, but these are children. Now, with all the different clips of the footage I saw, this one girl who's supposed to be a follower, did anybody else notice she hit the mama first? Like, that was the first lick of it all going down. The very first lick of everything going down was her stealing off the mama. Now, I'm gonna say, when you think about it, that is somewhat surprising. You would think a shot would go to one of the kids first if they gonna do this. But it looked like her, who's clearly was told, if you ask me, that she's supposed to say she was a father. She the one kicked it off. Okay, she the one kicked it off. You know, and she kicked it off by stealing off the mama, not the kid, the mama. Y'all. I'm gonna say it was a mess, y'all. And like I said, I'm gonna throw that one particular link up that I think it was a little lengthy. Like I said, it was about 39 minutes, but I'm gonna put that one up just so y'all can see it. Now, y'all gonna have to wait till after the show, and I'll put that link up. It was terrible, y'all. It was terrible. All right. Now, y'all know how the internet can be about digging up situations, y'all. And when this situation happened, people started digging, and they start putting out information out there. Yeah, and I told you, I ain't the type of person to be going to dig up all your information. I just use stuff that's already public. Okay, I ain't finna dig up all your info. I would love to say that I'm surprised that these young ladies would act this way. I would love to say I'm surprised that these mothers would act this way, y'all. Did y'all see anything on the mothers? Because, like, folks start going after. They didn't leave it up to theory, like who the mother is. Like, they they really research these kids to find out like who their mamas was. And y'all know the mamas. I'm not gonna say anybody really just gave the most healthy responses and called it a day. I mean, there's one kid who say she ain't gonna play with her, and she getting on her kids or whatever. You know, it's hard to know what to believe. It's hard to know what to believe, because yes, the accountability. Okay, the accountability definitely turned into an issue, because now it wasn't even about the kids. It's turned into, you people can't tell me nothing about my kid. And who was y'all to judge me or my children? It really turned into people trying to, you know, put a good face on for themselves or their children. You know, and I'm gonna say, yeah, it got bad quick. If you ask me, it got bad quick because your child done jumped the kid and a mama. The mama happened to be sick. Okay, now this is the thing, y'all. The kids may have already known that. You know, when you talk to other kids at school, y'all say all kinds of stuff to each other, especially when you don't have a certain decorum adults may have. Adults will keep certain information to themselves and things like that. But when you kids, you'll tell all kinds of stuff. So they may have already known, well, you know, his mama's sick. She got sickle cell. They may not remember exactly what was wrong with it, but they probably knew her mama's sick or his mama's sick because they looks like they went after the boy. Okay, and the sibling just got caught up in the mess. Okay, yeah, you know his mama's sick. We gonna get him. And I don't even understand why these girls is coming after this boy in the first place. Now I know somebody may say, well, you know, well maybe the girls like him because he dressed fresh. Cool, cool. Don't like me, okay? You ain't got to like me. If it take all that, okay, you ain't got to like me. I'm cool. I'm cool on you. If you got to jump me to like me, man, I'm good. Okay, man, I'm good. Yeah, that ain't never been how to get anywhere with me, y'all. Now I understand, you know, people grow up and the boys and the girls, they like each other. People talking about, you know, well, you know, kids will hit you. These girls will just hit you because they like you. Yeah, I wasn't never cool with that. I didn't never kick it with no girl who hit me. That's not how to get me. Ain't never been. Ain't never gonna be. I guess you really like me, so you gonna jump me. Not only you gonna jump me, you gonna jump my mama and my brothers and sisters. Boy, you must love me to death. Literally to death. But yes, y'all, when it started coming out, you know what I'm saying, all the moms had to do was just get out here and make a public apology, y'all. Look, man, I done found out about what the situation is. It is a shame what they did is far worse than what I would even expect my child to be involved in. But I bet you one thing. I bet you one thing. Once I'm done, I bet y'all don't hear nothing else about my child doing anything wrong again. I bet you that. That's all you had to do. Okay, look, I can't control what has already happened, but I bet you one thing. Once I'm done, you ain't gonna hear nothing else about my child. I bet you that. All you gonna hear is stuff about honor roll, okay? Maybe volunteering in the neighborhood or something like that. I bet you good and well you don't hear nothing about what my kid done did wrong. No more. This is gonna be their last pit stop in the land of trouble. Okay. I'm gonna get my kids so good they ain't gonna even want to play the board game trouble. They ain't gonna want nothing to do with trouble. They're gonna be so far from trouble. You know what I'm saying? They gonna get lost. They gonna be that far from trouble. Okay. My kids gonna need to be picked up. They're gonna be so far from trouble, they ain't gonna even know how to get home. Okay. That's all they had to do, y'all. Even if they wasn't gonna do it, look like you was gonna do it. Just look like you was serious. Just look like you had a message, y'all. And the one who seemed to be getting the most traction, I'm gonna tell you, that little girl looked like her people did not really care at all. If that's who gonna scare her into acting right, I ain't got no hope for her. I'm just gonna keep it real. Those women, okay, I'm just keeping it real. You may see this, you may not like my opinion, but I'm just keeping it real with you. If y'all are what's gonna make her act right, I just don't see her acting right. I didn't see nothing to fear. Even from a child's perspective, I saw nothing to fear. Y'all don't seem like y'all gonna do nothing to that girl. Well, it seemed like whatever y'all was gonna do has already been done. Her biggest issue was having to get on camera and say something. That girl seemed to be having fun. Now I know y'all may be, because that's your people, whether it's your daughter, your niece, your family, whatever it is to you, I understand she can pull the strings of your heart. I get all that. That girl looked like she was having fun in that video. Let me do this fake apology and keep it moving. You know, that young lady, I'm just keeping it real, y'all. Now, y'all are welcome to y'all's opinion, but I'm gonna tell you that girl looked like she was having fun to me. Okay, look like she was ready to crack up at any moment. Wait till these cameras go off and I get to my row. I'm about to bust out laughing my behind off because ain't nothing finna happen to me. And I know ain't nothing finna happen to me. I don't know who they think they're trying to fool. Yeah, I seen nothing that seemed like a threat to that child in any way. Okay? Punishment. I don't think she might not even know how to spell punishment yet. Well, no, I mean, she seems a little old. She may know how to spell it. She might know how to spell it, but I don't think she got to live it. I don't think she got to live it, y'all. I don't think she got to live it. Real talk. Seems like everything good, Joe. Real talk. We gonna put this on camera. We gonna have you do this little live feed or whatever it was. And after this over, you're gonna be good. Don't even worry about it. You're gonna be good. Okay. But we gotta put you on camera so we can convince people that we're gonna actually raise you properly. We gotta put you on camera, okay? And this is what I need you to say. Man, now I'm gonna say this, y'all. She ain't no good actor. I'm gonna tell you that. I don't expect her to grow up and be a movie star, because she don't seem to be no good actor at all. Okay, she's terrible. She better do well in school. I don't know if Hollywood got a place for her. You better crack them books like you trying to crack on adults. That's what you better do. You better crack them books. I mean, they say she getting A's and B's. They say she getting you better make it all A's and get you a scholarships. Cause I don't think you're gonna make it in Hollywood. Real talk, okay? Now, yeah, I'm just having a little fun, but I ain't gonna get on it too bad because y'all, these are children at the end of the day. And so yeah, we can't measure the children out like we do the adults. Now, I was talking to a friend of mine. He said, I'm so proud. My friend said, I'm so proud. Okay, I'm so proud of Chicago right now. I'm so proud. I said, what you mean, bro? What you mean? He say, man, did you see the way them people came up looking for one of them mothers? You know, they was looking for the mama. Now, word on the street is she about homeless herself. They say she's squatting in like a project building. Okay, I think it was a project building. They say she over there squatting. Okay. What does that tell me? That tell me mama homeless. Mama's supposedly 30 years old with 5 kids and she homeless, squatting near where her mom lives. Okay. And the hood came out for her. Okay. The hood came out for her, y'all. You know, they was I'm not saying they was gonna hurt her, but it did look like they wanted to have a serious discussion. I'm gonna say that. I'm not saying they was gonna hurt the lady, but it looked like they wanted to have a very serious discussion. All right. Now I'm gonna say at least somebody could understand that something wrong actually happened. At least somebody could understand something wrong. Now I'm not gonna be out here. I'm not gonna quote unquote promote violence, y'all. So it looked like some people wanted a conversation with her. Now is that a good thing? Well, I mean, it's not a bad thing. I'll say that it's not a bad thing, you know. And accountability is a crazy thing when it comes to women and children, y'all. You know, so what do? You got a bunch of girls that jumped on somebody because shout out to Mr. Suge you making it plain. Yeah, I didn't see no boys involved. I know about the boy on camera. Okay. Now maybe it was some boys involved that they just didn't get footage of. That's possible. It's possible. But if the dad is right, this is about jealousy of children. All right. And I'm gonna say jealousy does seem to flare up way more in women than it does men. You know, anybody can be jealous. Now you got children being jealous. Who is that going to personally affect the most? Probably jealous little girls. Okay. Maybe dudes dress a little bit flyer than their boyfriends. Maybe they do want him to be their boyfriend, but everybody can't have him. You know, all kinds of crazy shenanigans and scenarios could come up in this type of dealing. All right. And of course, you know, young black ladies, do they know how to express their emotions toward a young boy? Probably not. Probably not. Okay. You could say that. Would their parents help them with expressing, you know, feelings of liking a guy? Well, probably not. I'm just saying it again. Probably not. Probably nothing positive, because it seems to be a situation where everybody is a single mom. Okay. That's what it seemed to be like. Everybody's a single mom. And all of a sudden, it went from being about the kids to y'all don't judge me. Who y'all niggas think y'all is? All kids do something wrong. And matter of fact, the video I'm gonna put up, y'all, the young lady who's, you know, put a decent amount of information. I'm gonna say this is the best one I thought was compiled together about the different information. They did mention him beating up crackheads, y'all. They did mention there was some stuff in there about jumping crackheads. No. In Chicago, yeah, that's a real thing. Okay, I'm not saying it happens every day, but it is a real thing that people used to go, young people used to go, and they did used to mess with crackheads. They did actually do that. So the young lady was like, I guess a little flabbergasted that something like that was mentioned. And then she made a couple statements about it. So I'm just gonna put it out there, y'all. Yeah, in Chicago, there was a thing about messing with the crackheads. Okay. I'm gonna hope that people still ain't doing something like that. But I know back when I was a kid, yeah. Sometimes the crackheads just got it because they was a crackhead, and that's all there was to it. Okay. You can pick on the crackheads and get away with it. All right. Now, shout out to Superstar J Quick. He said parents or single mothers. Well, see, that's the problem. You know, when you say parents, that can include single mothers. Okay. But it was really just a single mother issue based on what I can tell. Okay. Now I'm gonna say shout out to any dads if they're involved. You know, I don't know if any dads were really involved with these girls that went after this young boy and his family. You know, I'm gonna say shout out to the dads though, because this is what I'm gonna say. This is what I'm gonna say. Real talk, okay? Because I didn't see in all the stuff I saw on this, y'all. I didn't see any evidence of these attackers being raised by a father. I didn't see any evidence of that. Okay. Now these are somebody's kids. Okay, so there's some men out there somewhere, and his daughter was involved in this nonsense. So I'm gonna say shout out to every father, okay, especially if your daughter was involved in this nonsense. Shout out to every single one of you. Why? Because no matter what they say, no matter how they try to make this an issue, I'm gonna say I would bet money if you had custody of your daughter, she would have never been involved. Real talk, y'all. That's what I'm gonna say to that. I would bet if any of those fathers had custody of their children, I bet you they wouldn't have been involved. Okay, bet you. Now, I'm sorry for you if you got to take some negativity because somebody know that's your particular daughter and they, try to get at you or something like that as a man. I apologize that you got to deal with that part of the equation as well. But I'm gonna say shout out to you because I bet you if your daughter was being raised in your household, this never would have happened. I bet that. See, the thing is, we don't want to give credit to fathers, but we see the type of stuff that can happen when the fathers ain't around. Now, I don't know if the son who got jumped, I don't know if his mom and father live together. You know, shout out to Trebin. He said that, you know, maybe they just shacking up for right now. Notice he ain't the problem though. He know his daddy. He ain't the problem. Okay. And if they are shacking up, at least daddy's there on a regular basis. At least he get to go to sleep knowing his daddy's at home. Okay. And I'm gonna give him a lot of credit because as he was talking, it was supposedly him. It was a gentleman that was supposedly talking to him. You know, he said, "Look, I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna deal with it." And the dude, now he was mad. Of course, he mad because it's one thing to hear that your kid got jumped by some other kids at school. It's another thing to hear that your kid got jumped, they brothers and sisters got jumped just by being there, and then if that's his woman, but I'm just gonna say the mother of his children, that she got jumped too. That's a whole lot for a man to have to deal with. And he did say, "No, I'm not gonna go up there and act the fool," because you know the guy who was talking to him was saying that um, they want you to go up there and act crazy and act the fool, whatever. He was like, I'll give my word. I'm not gonna go up there and be violent or anything like that. So shout out to that brother for having some level of constraint in a very difficult situation. Because if that's his woman, and I'm gonna say this too, if that's his woman and he has children with her, well, we know they got the kids together. Okay, I just can't confirm that they are a couple. Technically, right now, I can't necessarily confirm that, but there's a lot of clues that would suggest that they are a couple. And I'm gonna say shout out to this man because he didn't just ditch her because she got sickle cell. So it doesn't come out that she has sickle cell. I don't know when he found this out or whatever the case is, but y'all, he seems to be a man standing by the woman. Now I know they're not married right now. Well, it doesn't. I ain't gonna say I know that. It doesn't look like they're married right now. But he didn't just dump her because she ended up being sick. Okay, so I'm gonna say shout out to him for that. If he's really rocking with her, even if they're not married, but if he's staying with her, even though it turned out she had sickle cell and he didn't just leave her, because you ain't married, you could just bounce up on out of that. Real talk. But I've said before, black men don't really usually leave women. So when people start accusing black men for abandoning their children, y'all need to really start asking, how can you abandon a child when the man won't even leave the woman? You see, these could be some quote unquote abandoned kids. But where this man at? He's still with this woman. At least what it looks like. I'm not gonna confirm that they're a couple, because technically I didn't hear that. Okay. But there's moves being made where it looks like they're a couple. She got sickle cell and he's still there. Okay. So shout out to that brother. Okay, shout out to that brother. Real, and that's real talk. Now I do got Chef Mike coming up to give a word, so I'm gonna hold up right there and let Chef Mike do what he want to do here. Okay. Welcome to the show, my brother. Good to have you. What you got for us on this, Chef Mike?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to find yourself this Monday. Roger, how you doing this morning, man? I I I looked at this and I am doing my very level best not to come in too hot because I saw this and I was watching this with my wife and I said, and y'all wonder why I would be quick to banish one of these little to the spirit realm because I don't see children. I see formidable threats to my children's lives. And I want to put my perspective in context. Let's take these same children out of Chicago, okay? And we're going to put them in Tbilisi. We're going to put them in Kuwait. We're going to put them in Afghanistan. We're going to put them in Iran. We'll put them in Syria. Oh, it's okay then to banish them to the spirit realm, but not American young children. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There comes a point in time when you have to set the example and let folks know, no, I'm not going up to act a fool. I'm going up to act. There's no fear of consequences. None of those kids have a fear of consequences. You know why? Because they ain't found, one of their friends chopped up somewhere, purposely left for y'all to find. They ain't found somebody, house blown up, purposely for the rest of y'all to see. One by one, I'm going to terrorize you all until all of you are no longer. And you're going to know it's me. The police are going to know it's me. And by the time the police come to arrest me, it doesn't matter. All of the dominoes are in place. Because at that point, you'll understand. You'll understand why I don't play with these short adults, these vertically challenged, formidable threats. Ain't nobody playing with these people. They want to act like adults. Okay. These are the consequences that adults face. And watch this. I don't care if you go get your uncles, your cousins, your aunties. Listen, everybody can get this smoke. I was trained very well. I was trained very well. And I don't say that lightly, and I don't say that like I'm some great wonder. I say that as a father who is very serious about the safety of his children, the safety of my family. And y'all touched a mother. Yeah, all bets are off. Y'all fair game. If you can attack an adult, you can be attacked by an adult. Because this ain't no one-way thing. I'm going to land my plane right there, Roger.
I'm going to say shout out to you, brother, for that. And I'm going to have to say, y'all, that I got to salute this brother because at the end of the day, all right, because I do suspect they are together. Now, what am I supposed to do? And somebody gonna attack my baby. See, a lot of times we look at these things and we'll look at this as a news story. For him, that's his baby. Okay, that's his love. That's the mother of his children. And I'm saying he's being such a decent guy, even though now I don't know if he found in the beginning that she had sickle cell or it came out during their relationship. If he hasn't left her and you attack my very sick woman, I mean, I know how to say my father told me sometimes, son, you just got to say you sorry. Now, why did my father tell me this? He said, because if your situation come up and you end up in prison, at least you're alive and you can say, I'm sorry. Now, what is he telling me? The way I interpret that is sometimes some very tough situations may come up. You may have to do some things to handle your business. And the people going to come at you. Just say you're sorry. He didn't say don't handle my business.
Nope.
He just say you're sorry.
Hey, well, you go ahead and quote your father and say you sorry, Roger, and I ain't got no problem with that, I promise you. But for me, I'm gonna quote Pee Wee Herman. I meant to do that.
Well, I mean, real talk, I can't blame no man for doing something in a situation like this because to me, it looks like this man went to work to provide for his family. And while he was at work providing for his family, the woman goes to pick his children up from school and his baby got attacked by kids at the school. I don't understand. I mean, reckoning should come. I'm just gonna say that reckoning should come. And then if I would have watched that same little girl video, the one that I'm gonna say the one that seems to be featured the most, where this little girl seemed to be having a whole lot of fun, and she's supposed to be sorry for attacking this family, and she looked like she about to crack up. That's what it looked like to me. Like she about to crack up. At the end of the day, I can't convict him, no matter what he did. If I was on the jury, I can't convict that man. It is what it is, man. Sometimes you got to protect your family. And sometimes those are hard decisions and ugly calls got to be made. It just is what it is. But what I cannot do as a man is convict another man for protecting his family. That's just something I refuse to do.
Here's the next thing, Roger, real quick. It's you attacked my woman. You don't know what I'm going through with my woman, with my family. And she's sick. I'm sorry. There's a reason that fathers need to be in the home. There's a reason that fathers need to be in the home, because now everybody in that school would have known, don't bother Chef Mike kids, because Chef Mike ain't got no sense. And I don't want to get blown up because y'all acting a fool. Because Chef Mike will come up here and blow this whole school up and sit down and light a cigar while the police on their way. See, everybody would have known I'm the father that's the crazy one. I'm the one that don't mind going to jail. I'm the one that will look a kid in the eye and say, I will give you a complex Dr. Phil can't get rid of. And I'm going to tell you that in front of your parents. I'm going to tell you that in front of the principal. Everybody's going to know, because I'm quite serious. Because if anything like this ever happened, who said it? It was Biggie Small. It's going to be some slow singing and flower bringing.
Hey, that's real talk. Now I'm going to say this real quick, and then we're going to get you in, Gold P. Shout out to Sirius Ra. He said, I would go to the parents and other adults in their family. Why are y'all raising these little monsters? Now, Sirius Ra, I'm going to say this. I don't even know if that would help, because based on what I saw, the parental response turned into, y'all can't judge me. You can't judge my children. Y'all ain't no better. They just being kids. The lack of accountability, you could cut it with a knife, man. It was strong. It was extremely strong. It stopped being about their children doing wrong, and then it's about what you saying about me and my family. What you saying about me and my kid. Who are y'all to talk about me and my kid? The arrogance was through the roof. That's all. That's what I'm saying. The arrogance was through the roof. Now, I never seen any response from any of these people that attacked any of those girls. I never seen their father's response. So I'm gonna say, until we know otherwise, because at the end of the day, these are Al Gore's babies. But if there is black fathers involved, then that's why that black father should be raising his daughter. Because I would bet money, if he was raising his daughter in his home, this wouldn't be a story. Real talk. But let me go ahead and give it to Gold P since he here. Gold P, you got it, my brother.
Man, what's happening? What's happening, man?
What's happening, brother?
What's happening? Peace to everybody. What's good? Hey, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Roger, I use my first minute to say, hit that like button, support the channel, do something. Don't just be sitting in the clouds or in the chat, not do nothing. Hit that like button, support the channel. If you haven't already, subscribe to the Roger Report. Hey, do something. So I make sure I make it a point to say that off top. Next thing, my second minute, I'm going to say this. As a man with children, kids, I I was in the position where I had to go address a situation at school, at the school. Now, I've always been heavily involved with my kids' schooling. I don't just talk. I be now. I ain't only talking about my my own kids. I'm talking about my nephews, nieces. I make it a point to be that person. My brother and them, they knew. My, their uncle's going to be at school. He's going to be up. We ain't got to worry about nothing. He's going to be up there. He's going up there, and he's going to see what's going on. So there was a situation with my daughter, and uh, you know, I went up there to address the situation in person to let them know, it's going to be some problems around here if I have to come back up here. Right now, the situation was somebody was in the wrong bathroom doing stuff at the wrong. Now, my child was only, I think, at the time she was like 6. Do you think that a situation happened ever again? No, sir. Because I was up there expressing to everybody and their mama, I'm going to be a problem. And I ain't had to ever deal with that again. Which speaks to the point where men say, hey, look, we're going to have some problems in here if you don't correct the situation. We mean that. Off top. We mean that wholeheartedly. So when people talk about, the father, well, when the father's doing right, you're mad. When the father ain't doing right, you're mad. Pick a struggle. That's what I would say. That's my 2 minutes.
And interesting over the state, very interesting over and you know what, Superstar J Quick, you right, brother. He said parents or single mothers. There are no men around. You know what? We're gonna definitely have to start making that delineation because you are 100% correct. You had a bunch of kids who happen to be single mothers based on everything I looked at. I didn't see no man present in any of their lives. And this is what we get. We got kids who would attack adults. Now, my thing is, we used to shut up when the adults came around. And now the kids would even attack the adult. And y'all, based on the footage I saw, the first hit went to the mom. The main girl who's supposed to be apologizing on camera, who looked like she having a good time, if you ask me. She didn't seem like she was in trouble at all. Looked like the first lick was her hitting the mom so they can get to the kids. Crazy work, if you ask me. But let me give it to the Great Black Reset. You got it, my brother.
Good Monday morning to you fellas. Good Monday morning to the chat. How you guys doing today?
Doing all right, brother. Doing all right.
What's going on,
All
blood?
right. I had a related situation with my son when he was in middle school with one child that was supposed to be a bully at the time. Had threatened my son. My son was concerned about it. And we had a parent teacher conference with the principal of the school and some other administrators and the mother who was a single mother. I told them, I said, listen, we're going to get the situation solved right now. The measures that you guys have been taking have not been fruitful. And if this situation doesn't resolve itself right now today, I'm going to kill everybody in this room. And the principal said, you can't do that. You can't threaten. We going to call the police. I said, man, the police ain't going to get here in time. If my son continues to have problems, if I think my son continues to have problems with this person, with this student ain't gonna make it home. And if this issue doesn't get resolved while I'm present, I'm gonna kill everybody. And I mean what I say. I had a very large hunting knife. I was gonna kill everybody in there, bro. These little demon spawns, bro. If it's my child, they're no longer gonna exist. Now that's my personal situation. Y'all can take from that what you will, but that's how I feel about it, even to this day. Now I'll let my plane in.
Okay.
I
Now,
want
of
to jump
course,
in
I'm
after
gonna
you.
say
I
we
want to
are
jump in
not
after
gonna
you.
promote violence, but I understand the sentiment of where you're coming from. I do understand the sentiment, but because we trying to get
No,
monetized
no,
around
Roger.
here.
It's not promoting violence. No, 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 no. And this is the point. And both Great Black Reset and Gold P make a common theme, and we're on the same line. There is a line that men will say, "This is it. Do not cross it." We know that. We teach that to our children because we understand that there is a line, and once you cross that line, you have communicated something to me that you may not understand. You've just communicated to me. You just communicated to me that you are willing to violate me. And
Yep.
every man knows that there's a line in the sand, and once you cross it, all bets are off. The gloves come off. Now you got to catch that fade, and every man knows that. Every man knows that.
Well, I'm gonna say, when a man says, "I don't want no problems," you know what that means. You know what that means. He's,
Listen,
he said, "I'm willing to close the block today."
I I was promoting a solution. The solution was came to. My son no longer had any problems, and that child somehow magically wanted to be my son's friend. I
exactly.
don't know how that happened.
Hey,
He
hey, look,
realized he wasn't ready to go meet Jesus yet.
hey, look, man. When a brother says, "I will close the whole block," you understand what that means.
Well, I don't even think it's a man thing. I think women know exactly what's going on because at the
No,
end of the
no,
day, no,
Roger,
no,
no,
hold on,
no.
Gopi. At the end of the day, they used to tell people regularly, you don't mess with people's children. You knew what time it was because there was going to be somebody you had to answer to.
Right?
And that's still a very much a thing in America that you don't go after people's kids. Because when you go after the kid, you expect the father of the child to make somebody pay consequences.
So,
We
so
and,
Roger,
hold on.
go ahead,
Let me
go ahead.
say this.
Yes, sir.
Even in other areas throughout society, do they attack children of single mothers more? Yes. Even the police do it because they don't expect a father to show up that they got the answer to. This stuff is done all the time. Anytime people believe they ain't got the answer to a father, they'll go further with your kids. That's just a common thing. People may not say it openly, but I see it all the time. Go
Well,
ahead.
well, well. Once again, with I relegate this to when the father walks in the room. Okay, say the mother's been fussing at the kids. They're accustomed to hearing the mother say this, that, and other. But when the father walk in, that hit different. When the father walks in and says, I ain't gonna tell you no more. I'm gonna tell you this one time, and that's it." That hit different. So when he go into the school, it hit different. He said, "Hey, hold on. I'm gonna tell you this one time. I will close the whole block. Let this happen. Don't even let this happen again." Because I could tell you from the situation where I had to go up with one situation with my daughter. Hey, look, when I came up there, they had security out. They had everybody out watching me, and they understood I was about the business, and I didn't
Listen,
have no more problems.
You know what? I'm gonna say shout out to all y'all fathers for doing what's necessary. But I'm gonna say this, y'all. I done seen plenty of time where the threat was the father. See, I grew up. I was around kids too. I've seen people come up to the school and say, "The next time I'm not coming, I'm sending a father," and that was enough.
Yeah.
Nobody had to meet the man. Okay, I've literally seen mama say, "Next time I'm not coming. If we have another issue, I'm sending my husband."
Yes,
There was
indeed.
never an issue anymore. They never met that man. Now I'm talking
That
about
was
kids I grew
that.
up in school with. So yeah, I'm talking about grammar school kids, and we stayed into the 8th grade. Then some of us separated at high school time. But I seen it where mama said this 2nd, 3rd grade. We never met that man. He never. They made sure it was no issue. We graduated from 8th grade. They never met that guy.
Yeah, but
No,
Roger, that
I
That
was
was.
was
a
that
different
was my
time.
situation. My son's mother had been up there one time before about this same situation, and by the time I got there, this was the second time. This is going to be the last time, one way or the other. And the difference is now the children at the school and the children in the neighborhood now understand this is a death sentence over here. We're gonna
Well,
leave him alone. My son
And
throughout the rest of middle school and high school didn't have any issues with anybody.
and see, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Roger. It's not promoting violence because that's a very shallow and limited way to look at that. What we're promoting is protection and preservation. See, the reason we respond like, well, I almost speak for myself. The reason I respond like this, one, is because my military background has had me in situations where the opposition was 13, 14, 15 years old. So for me, I will never see them as children. Because if you are old enough to pick up a gun, you old enough to take a bullet. Now that is not me promoting violence. That is me letting you understand why I think the way I do. Okay? Because when your training tells you shoot to kill, the trainer don't say shoot to kill only if they over 18. No, no, because we don't ask for no ID. And see, that's the thing. You have to understand. You have a whole generation of veterans who have children now. And Roger, I understand how it was when we were back there growing up. I remember that, but that was a different time. And our children, they're not growing up with the same parents that we grew up with. They don't have the same family structure that we had. And here's the other thing, and I'm not trying to take up too much time, but if these people are not in our community, let's swap that word community out for nation. If you are not in my nation and you attack someone who's in my nation, your nation becomes under attack.
well, oh, you finished, Chef? You done,
Yeah,
Chef?
go ahead.
Okay. So I will say this, man, Roger. I mean, because you said, they seen the mother, and then no, no, you see me first. You see me first, right? Mama's gonna come home and tell me, hey, there's a problem at that school, and that boy, I need you to, I'm going first because I want to make sure they understand that this is going to be the first and last time we deal with this. You're not gonna have this energy where, yeah, we're trying to no, because when the man goes up there, he's off top saying, look, you gonna listen. Okay, we're gonna have the conversation. We're gonna do some listening here today. We're gonna talk about it today, and that's it. Now, I said what I said. Just know, it's been my first and last time I come up here about this subject here. They want to see me first.
Hey, I am not saying a man can't be the first line of defense when it comes down to it. You know, y'all do know I gotta say certain things just for political purposes. Again, y'all,
Hey,
I
we
said
get it.
I
We
would
get it.
never convict a
Hold
man
up.
for
I got
doing something on his child's behalf. Like to me, you supposed to already know not to touch their kids.
I got your disclaimer for you. The views shared here by the guests are not the views of the Roger Report Live, nor is he responsible for the sayings of said guests. The Roger
Well,
Report Live does not promote violence and only promotes peace, harmony, and joy and happiness throughout said community.
with that
Thank
being said, if you choose violence, then the consequences, you are responsible for the consequences of your action.
And
This
and on the heels of that, go P. If you choose, then understand that is your God-given right, because even God gives you free will. So understand, every choice comes with either a reward or a consequence.
Off
yeah.
top. Off
Now,
top.
now I'm gonna say, and when it comes down to it, these children did choose violence.
Well,
So if
okay,
something
hey,
violent
it was
happened to
your
them,
choice.
it's just that's just part of the game. At the end of the day, that's part of the game. Um, Truth be told, um, this should be a situation where these attackers should have to leave the school. I'm gonna say that. Okay, I'm not saying the school can quote unquote put them out or whatever the case is, because I don't know exactly where the fight happened. It probably was close enough to the school for them to get suspended or something like that. But what should happen, which I doubt is going to happen, is that those kids should be terrified to go back to their school. That's what should happen. But that's
They should
in
be
a world
terrified
where,
to walk outside.
yeah, what I'm saying, that's in a world where you do have father's presence. That's in the world where people got to answer to a man when they get home. You know, because I'm gonna say this based on children's grades, kids definitely ain't scared of mamas. Okay, when you can go to school and everybody can know you felon and it's cool. I mean, that relegates your mama to somebody who just don't care at the end of the day. If the children are having such a terrible time with math scores and reading scores, which is like an epidemic at this point, based on what I'm hearing about what goes on in school, answering to your mama don't mean nothing. So if it don't mean nothing in your academics, then it's probably not gonna mean nothing in other areas in your life. So I don't think this is an issue the way it should be an issue, because those mothers should be terrified to send those kids back to that same school. But I didn't pick up on any of that though. I didn't pick up on any of that. Okay, so it seemed like ain't nothing gonna happen to these girls that was involved. And like I said, the one girl making this apology video looked like she was having a whole lot of fun when she was supposed to be apologizing. She didn't seem sorry at all. Now maybe somebody gonna say, "Well, no, she did." I couldn't tell. I'm an adult. I'm watching this kid make this apology. I didn't see anything close to "I'm sorry." I didn't see anything close to "I really actually feel bad." I didn't see anything that would make that suggested me she wanted to do something to make the situation better. That girl didn't care. Now, why that girl didn't care? For all those women that was in the room, whether you was a mama, a auntie, a family friend, whatever, because she answers to y'all. That's why that girl didn't care. Because y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Because I bet you if she was in her daddy's home, she'd have never participated in this in the first place. And it looked like she the one that kicked it off. Why they talking about, I was being a follower. I can't tell. It looked like you hit the mama. It didn't look like you went after the boy first. It looked like you hit the mama, and that's what kicked off everything. But you a follower? What kid actually stole off somebody's mama? That's crazy if you
Well,
ask
follow
me.
me over here to this ditch, because y'all finna dig this ditch right here. And if you don't start digging, I'm just saying, listen, and I respond the way I do, one, as a father. And that's always going to be the response as a father. Now, setting this aside and understanding this is a problem that we have to deal with in society, where do we now, or what do we now do with these children? If we're going to still see these children as children, what should we do with these children? Should they still be allowed to be in the same school with children that actually know how to act right? Should a school like this, and this is going to be very controversial, should a school like that even get funding?
I don't
And
think
if
it's the
so,
school's
why?
problem. I don't
No,
think
no,
it's
no,
the
no, no,
school's
no, 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 no,
problem.
no. I understand that. I understand that. I understand that. However, it's the school's problem now.
Hell,
Somebody
this
has
is
to get punished big enough to say, all right, listen, we don't want this. No. When I was in the military, if one person in the platoon messed up, the whole platoon got it. And then the whole platoon looked at the one person who got the platoon in trouble and was like, we need to get some straightening. Now, I ain't talking no full metal jacket, blanket party, or nothing like that. But you understand
sure,
there was some talking
sure.
going on, like, hey, we if Sergeant Major say we ain't got to march but 5 miles, don't get us in trouble to have to make us march 17. That's all we saying. We don't want to have to do more than what's necessary. You understand what I mean? It, mm-mm.
Well, I do want to say
No.
this because shout out to, I guess you pronounce this Luck Man or Luke Man. He said the parents should be terrified now. Now you got CPS in the picture. I'm gonna say probably not. Are they gonna really do anything? And I don't know. See, there's two CPSs in Chicago. There's Child Public Services, which I'm assuming he's referring to, and there's also Chicago Public School System. Okay, both of these CPSs should, quote unquote, do something. I have a general idea that nothing's gonna happen. That's where I believe this is gonna go. Nowhere. Okay. I believe nothing will go farther, nothing will go further than the father of the child that was attacked. And then his brothers and sisters was attacked. And then his mama was attacked. I think it's gonna go as far as he make it go. So as far as the government's involved, I don't see anything happen. I'm just keeping it real. I grew up in Chicago. I don't think nothing happened. That's real talk. I don't think anything is gonna happen. Okay. But we got two new guests. We got Truth Teller who just came up, and then Black Uru just came up too. So now technically Truth Teller got up here slightly first, and I'm gonna say it was extremely slight. And then Black Uru came. So Black Uru, I wouldn't feel bad at all about you using your elder privilege and going speaking for this guy. But I ain't gonna tell you how to live your life. But you know, he really wasn't waiting in the back of nothing. He
Uru, I
just
think
got
you should go ahead and take this one, Uru.
No
I
pressure.
don't got nothing good to say about it.
No pressure. Um, you know, he well, I mean, this incident. Well, first of all, of course, thanks for having me, Roger. Hope you, the gentleman on the panel, folks in the public chat are doing well. I mean, this is just more evidence
Morning, Elder.
of the slide or the fall of the black community, whatever that was. Obviously, um, I haven't had much of a chance at all to listen to what you guys have discussed, what you presented, Roger, earlier during your usual monologue. But this wasn't the first incident involving these particular children. They apparently had bullied some other family uh, prior to this incident. That this is sort of like a roving gang of children. I'll post in the back chat a link to a reference to some reporting to this effect. So this is a broader community issue. I think it's going to be a growing community issue. of lawlessness amongst children. One of the reasons why we created a public school system in this country was in large part, prevention of this kind of thing where you have roving bands of children terrorizing people, terrorizing communities. That was part of the reason why we created a public school system in this country, over 100 years ago. So this is going to be a bigger growing issue, especially as things break down. Chicago is in great financial stress. It's going to eventually start to impact, I think, schooling and other social accommodations that usually help to redirect or to curb the behavior of children. I have some broader questions and comments about, father and men and stuff like that you guys touched on, but I'll defer those for now.
All right. Well, I guess True Tutter, you got it.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, show panel. How y'all doing? I don't think y'all niggas just heard what Uru said. There's reports that these niggas was bullying families in the past, not other kids. Uru said family. Nigga, what are these kids on? How do you bully a whole family and you a kid? All right, my inner feminist came out when I heard about this story, right? My inner feminist came out, and when I heard it was basically girls, I was like, yeah, I believe in equality. I just need to give everybody foreknow. Y'all know where I stand. If I'm out in public and a woman put her hands on me, game on. But if some poor retarded dude decides he want to step in between that, he's gonna get it 10 times worse because that's the debt he has to pay for making that mistake. Kids gonna have the same rules. Now, just so we clear, if y'all mess with you and mine, and I'll be damned if my wife and my little babies out there and y'all getting them too, you ain't got to worry about where you gonna live no more. You ain't got to worry about who your mama is. You ain't got to worry about that no more. Cause they're not gonna be in the existence of this Marvel universe anymore. Just so y'all understand, I'm not reporting it to the police. I'm not going to the cops. I'm not going to the Avengers. I'm not going to the Green Lantern Corps. I'm not going to anyone. Just so y'all know, it's going to be real hush-hush. It's going to be real hush-hush. And then niggas, the Thanos snap is just going to start happening. And niggas is going to be disappearing and ain't nobody going to know why.
This nigga said the Avengers.
I'm just saying that's how the comic books work. That's all I understand. That's just how the comic books work. And just so y'all niggas understand, in my head, that's how reality works. Y'all go ahead and play games with me and mine, and we're going to see what happens. I ain't reporting. You ain't got to worry about that. You have to worry about the other side of what's going to happen to you with me not reporting. That's all I'm going to say. I'll leave it there.
All right. Man, and I'm gonna check this video out that Black Udon dropped in a moment too. I'm gonna say this, y'all, and I know people.
Wait, Roger. Wait,
go
Roger.
ahead.
Hold on. Wait, I'm sorry. He said, I'm not gonna call the Avengers. I'm not gonna call the Green Lantern Corps. Ain't nobody coming to save y'all. I'm blowing up the block. Your house gonna be a parking lot.
I didn't say that. I just said Thanos snap is gonna happen. All I'm saying.
That's not what happens in the comics.
Thanos is gonna be part of a scene group. That's all I'm saying. Because that's what's gonna have to happen.
Truth gonna come through and they gonna tell folk tales about. Well, there was a time.
Well, I would say
there was a time back in the day when this area there used to be laughter.
Hey, I want to say this, man. Rodney Hinton, he accepted the consequences of what he needed to do.
Whoa,
What he
whoa,
had
whoa,
to
whoa, whoa, whoa! That brother ain't convicted of nothing. He ain't
Hey,
convicted of nothing.
that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he accepted whatever consequences there are to be served to him, because he understood that, hey, you know what? I'm about to make it happen.
I mean,
You did this to mine.
I'm
Well,
saying Rodney Hinton should be at this point should only be referred to as basically a saint at this particular
I
point.
got you.
That's all I'm saying.
I got you. And
Yeah,
all I'm saying is he was willing to accept whatever consequences.
brother. We don't need to say nothing about Rodney. Rodney still got to stay in trial. I'm just
Okay.
saying, don't use
Okay.
Rodney. That's all I'm saying. He still
No,
got to try to
no,
stay.
no.
Right.
Rodney is an example of what
Okay,
we're
Gold
talking
P.
about.
Rodney is a man who still got to deal with legal situations. We ain't gonna.
Understood.
He's just not the one that we should use at this particular point. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Trip, and he gets Saint Rod. Real talk. Okay,
I'm
love
saying,
you, love
I'm
you,
saying,
Rodney.
I'm saying that if we're talking about what we're willing to accept, then the conversation applies. That's where I'm at with it.
No. I'm not saying whether it applies or not. What I'm saying is that man has an ongoing case. Let's leave him alone. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
He has an ongoing legal situation right now. So let's just leave him
Yes,
alone.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's all I'm
We hear
saying.
you, Roger.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm saying shout out to every father of those girls who attacked this young man and his family. Because I bet you if any of them guys would have been raising their daughters, if them daughters would have been in their homes, none of this stuff would have happened in the first place. That's real talk. I was gonna say something else, but Gopi made me forget what I was gonna say that was important. But I'm sure to come back up. I'm sure to come back up. You know. But yeah, and y'all, we on social media, so we do have to be careful about what we saying about what particular person and what their situation happens to be. Okay, so and that's all it is. Because Gold P, I ain't trying to say nothing against you. All I'm saying is that man got an open case right now. So
Okay, but
let's let his
that's not
case
what we're not
close.
talking about. His case, Roger.
No.
We're talking about what we as men.
No. The thing is, you're implying something about
What am
him
I
and what he
implying, Roger?
does.
What am I
We're
implying?
not getting to that because I don't want to imply it. We're not. You
But,
know what I'm
but
saying?
no, Roger, no. We're talking about what we as men.
Roger, to be fair, Gold P was quiet, and you just kind of brought it back up.
Okay. Well, my bad,
Yeah,
my
you
bad.
just
But
kind of brought it up.
I'm just saying for the future, just in general.
I mean,
Let's
we understand the point you're
yeah.
making, but sometimes you have to just kind of
Okay, yeah, we done overworked the
eyeball.
point. My bad. Gold P, my bad. Okay.
And
All right.
and with that, Roger, I'm gonna let you know that the elder has spoken now. Your suit can be taken too, sir.
Hey, I
That's all I'm gonna
just
say.
left it alone. I even apologize. Y'all see how smooth I was? I apologize and everything. All right. Well, back to the subject at hand. Now is anything gonna happen to any of these kids? Yeah, I just don't think anything gonna happen. I'm just keeping it real. I done grew up in Chicago. I done seen all kinds of situations. This one close to home. These ain't nothing really finna happen to these girls. It did make the news, but was it big enough for people to like for didn't really press the issue? I don't think it got that big. I don't think there's going to be any real pressure on somebody saying what school system needs to do something. Because technically, I think the rule is, if my memory is correct, if you do something like it might be 1,000 feet from the school or something, like that's still like it's on school grounds, so they can suspend kids and things like that. And I don't think this happened all that far from the school, but I don't really see them doing anything. Because if you're gonna do
I mean,
something, you got a
I don't
whole
even
bunch of
know why.
black women to come.
I don't
Go
even
ahead.
know why it's a school matter. I don't even know why it's a school matter. To me, it's police, social services, children's services, or whatever. But I mean, part of the problem with education in public schools, in these cities is, you want the schools to be police, social workers, you know, parents, mentors, everything but actual damn educators. So the fact that we're even talking about the school having to be responsible for a roving band of children, and it's not even, it's off of school property or it's outside of the school itself. What are the schools supposed to do? You suspend the children, and you're
After
mostly just
hours too,
increasing the
Uru.
time that they're going to have. Yeah, well, if you suspend the children, all you're doing is increasing the probability that they're going to be on the streets doing what they did here or worse. And I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I'm just saying suspending the children is not at all a remedy for this particular situation. It if anything, worsens it, frankly.
Right.
They still do. Do they still do internal suspensions? The schools still do that. You can't, like back in my day when I went to high school. You could get suspended if you got arrested doing something outside of school. You could get expelled. You could actually get expelled. If you got, even if it wasn't, you get expelled or suspended from school for your activities outside of school. So I have seen that. I don't think the school should be involved at all. Honestly, this one's gonna be their parents. I think this family should sue their parents. Now I know they ain't got much money, but hey, another bill ain't gonna hurt them. They, put another bill on their back real quick. Make sure they understand where it's at. But that's crazy. But I just so we understand, look who are the people, the kind of people that are basically acting like monsters when they seem like they get some kind of power. This is absurd. Even boys wouldn't attack a mother. That's crazy, right? And I've seen some dudes. I've known horrible dudes that they'd be like, "Oh, that's dude's mom's. I'm good." Or they gonna do something, but the dude's mother is there, or the dude's little sister's there. They're like, "All right, I'm good." I ain't never seen a bunch of dudes jump a kid while his mama and his little sister is there walking with him. I ain't never seen that ever
Okay,
by the
but
male species.
what's worse about this story is that they were bullying the boy because his mother was sick. Because
That's crazy.
the woman featured in the story has sickle cell and she's ill, and they were teasing and bullying him because of that. See, this is a this is a level of inbred malevolence that we're
Ugh.
not really accustomed to. We're not really. I mean, even those of us who grew up around, bad people, we didn't grow up around people where the children are bullying the children of terminally ill people. This is, I mean, this is a different kind of humanity here, and I'm using humanity kindly.
I was gonna say, Elder, that is that the word you really want to use there, humanity? But I hear you, sir. I do.
That's what I said. I'm using it kindly.
it's listen. At some point, you have to deal with the cancer. Now, we may not like the how we have to deal with cancer, but at some point, we have to deal with the cancer. And understand this. I am in no way, shape, form, or fashion speaking in the same vein as those ladies who were talking to the Klan. Couple shows we did a few shows ago. We did. I'm not talking like in that same vein. I'm talking about protecting our children, protecting our families. Because if these children were another color, would we feel differently?
No, I think if they were another color, something would actually happen. Because truth be told, when I was saying earlier, I don't think anything's gonna happen, and I said something about the school, I was gonna say the same thing about the other bodies of government too. I don't think the police are gonna do anything. I don't think the city of Chicago gonna do anything. I don't think child family services. I don't think anybody is gonna do anything because in this particular case, you would have to start to do something about it. You have to hold Black women accountable because it seemed like all these kids who did something come from a single mother. Now, are they gonna really go after a bunch of Black single mothers? So I don't think anything's happening. And I'm just telling the truth. You're gonna go after all Black single mothers. So something can be done. Because how is you gonna do anything? You ain't finna go arrest the children. The children have been identified. Ain't nobody arrested them. So what you gonna do? Now you could go after the mothers and say they did something, or whatever the case is, or you can address them, but you gotta go after all single mothers. So who finna go after a bunch of single mothers? These poor Black minority single mothers who got it so bad. Who finna do that? I doubt the mayor of our city gonna do it.
Well, it seems like basically the way they're handling it is, apparently her children have been transferred to another school, and apparently, actually, they've even relocated or they've been assisted to relocate. So I think the way they're basically handling it is they're just kind of moving the victims out of the community. That's what it seems like. What they're doing is handling it. So they're attempting to do the opposite of what we would think they would do. That instead of addressing the children, we're just going to move the victims, and then just leave vulnerable the next group of victims, I guess, in the community. Now that they're gone, let's find the next group. And in the video that I posted, for those who had not gotten a chance to view it, they were bullying a young Black man who was autistic. They identified him as being autistic,
God,
and they
damn.
bullied. These are these children.
Yeah.
God,
demon spawn.
damn.
Yes.
Yes.
These are demon spawn, man.
Listen, man. We all had them in our school. They would act, they act up, but we knew they were special cases. We just went on. We joked with them. We laughed. We had one and we had a couple of them in the high school I went to. One would wear a football helmet. Well, I was a football player, so that was cool. All the football players looked out for him. He used to be in the hallways wilding out. But, we'd be like, yo, he likes football. So
what year was that? What year was that? What time was that?
I was in the 90s, man. I was like 94, 95.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Uru. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
These children said, there's something wrong with him. Let's attack him.
Well,
yeah.
I would say
a whole different kind of child, man.
I would say I was special. I'm special today, and I was always fighting. So, I respect people who are special.
OP.
That's
just too easy. Please don't open up the door like that for Roger. Please
I'm
don't
opening
make
it.
that hard.
I'm opening it.
Roger's sitting right
I'm
there,
opening it.
ready to swing that back across home plate.
I opened it. Yeah, I opened it.
Chef, I ain't gonna even lie to you, brother. My head was all in the hallway with that one.
I know. Go ahead. Hey, look, I'm special. Yeah, I'm your Huckleberry.
Man,
I'm your Huckleberry.
I said for the integrity of the show.
Opening statement.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it to J-Lock for the integrity of the show, because you're right. That was just too easy.
It's too easy for me.
Okay.
My return fire is impeccable. I'm your Huckleberry.
All right. J-Lock, you got the flow, my brother. You got the flow.
How you guys doing, jumping on this panel?
Brother.
And I gotta tell you guys something. I grew up in the millennial era. I was born in '93, in the early 2000s, I've been saw this problem coming to happen in Chicago. Nobody was listening. Everybody was seeing the upcoming of this behavior pattern. And the thing is that they've been doing this, not just the kids and mothers, Uru. They've been beating up crackheads for fun. Like what's the word for it? Like a crash dummy. They've been beating up crackheads for fun in Chicago, man. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't. Nobody stopped them. Nobody did nothing. And truth teller, that is true. The thing is, if you do something outside of school, they found out you got arrested, you got expelled for it. They stopped doing that because the parents felt like you was bullying their child. Oh, Jaquan, he did this. They's like, oh, he doesn't do that. He's a perfect kid. He's an excellent kid. He just got problems. The thing is, the parents think that you're bullying their child because you call them out their behavior and their problems. So they stopped doing that because the parents went always up there because they made a fuss about it, and you didn't make a complaint about their child. You didn't want to deal with that. You didn't. The teachers in the conference room do not, and at schools, this directive board do not want to deal with that. So the best they did was they just left it alone because you're bullying their. They felt like they seen that you're bullying their child, and you shouldn't be singling out their child because of the bad behavior, because of their behavior. The school should do something about it instead of the parent. That's what they believe in. I don't know if you've seen the video, Roger. There was a brother went out there and outside of school. He told a woman to stand down. He said this all issue is part of the culture. He was telling black women this is y'all fault. Black women said y'all need to stand. He told black women to stand down. Black women told him, hell no, we not standing down. We all together. We not listening to you. So the black man said, I'll bow out. I did what I could. I tried to tell y'all. So they know what the issue is. The reason why the reason why they're mad right now because it's been going viral. It's been going viral. It's been on the news. And the thing is, it's not a good look on them because it's all their children, single mothers, kids that's in that video in the school. And I mean, it involves their kids. So that's why it makes them a bad look. We've been saying this for years that black women been these kids been terrorizing these schools and stuff like that. So it's been an issue. So go ahead. I'm sorry I'm long winded it out. That's all I gotta say.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say we gon' get on this train that Superstar Jay Quick done pulled up to the track, y'all. We gonna stop blaming parents for what single mothers are doing. Because when you say parents, that people can definitely take that as there's men involved. There is no man of all the children that did something wrong. I never saw any man. No trace of a man. So this is not a parent issue. This is a bunch of women with children's issue. Okay. And that's just what it comes down to at the end of the day. And I did check out that video, Black Aru. And they saying the same boy who photographed, who filmed the school fight is the same guy that was filming when they was attacking the guy with autism. So yeah, the autism is why they attacked him. Now it was boys in the other video, but single moms have boys too. They have boys and girls. So and they did say these children literally went to the same school. Now I'm gonna say that's not an area with money. Anybody from Chicago, that's not an area. That's not an area where you expect anybody to have a bunch of money. It's just not that type of area. It's you know what I'm saying?
Man.
People can
Roger,
be
but I grew up in the hood, man. I'm telling you, we ain't treat our special needs people like that. No, we had plenty of retarded kids in the hood. You may tease them every now and again. I'm sorry, special needs. Special
We in
needs.
a
I
different
apologize.
time. We in a different time.
I apologize, everybody listening. Special needs.
Yeah.
We had plenty of children
Yeah.
with
Now,
special needs in our time. So I'm just trying to understand why suddenly now we can make disabled people victims, and it's all like how do you, like how is that in your mind that listen, oh, I know he can't do nothing to me, but yeah, he has the mind of a 4-year-old. So yeah, I'm going to beat up the kid with the mind of a 4-year-old, and I feel good about my. I'm just trying to figure out how they
Well,
transformed into this.
and if you
Uh,
if
I'm
you listen to
because they
they
weren't raised
feature
by
in
a
the
mother.
video,
I'm sorry, Uru.
they feature in that video, Truth Teller, that Roger referenced, the mother of the victim said that they busted out her window. And apparently, one of the ringleaders of this gang lives in the same building that they live in. So they're essentially being terrorized. And she said this has been going on for months. So this is a gang. I mean, we'll refer to them as children, but really, this is like any other gang, basically. That we would have gang units for. We would have police, to deal with. I mean, and the stuff,
But
and if
I
they're
grew up with
like
people like that,
blaming,
Uru. Them they never did. I have never talked to one of my boys, my peoples that was short up. They ain't never thought about doing nothing like this. They'd be like, "Yo, leave him alone. What's wrong with y'all?" Eh, this and
but
then
the
sorry,
point
I'm
the
coming
point
from a place where my mother is
That
the one who tell me you don't treat people that need help like that. My mother raised me like
no,
that. So how can these kids raised by women?
truth teller, truth teller. My point is they're not behaving like that. I mean, they're behaving like some people who for which police enforcement should be directed to. And the fact that they are young minor children, I mean, they're not even high school age children. I mean, you can only imagine what they'll be doing 3, 4, 5 years from now. There'll be bodies.
Yeah,
And the way this is trending, there'll be bodies at some point.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say I'm
mhm.
gonna go in what I believe is the same direction that Chef Mike was going into. When you get a bunch of people raised by women, women have a pattern of attacking people who cannot fight back. That is their perception. Even when
Yeah.
y'all see them attacking men, they believe men are in this compromised situation where he can't truly fight back because I'm a woman, or the situation is gonna stop it where he can't really do anything to me, such as like women hitting a man in public. Because she believe in public, there's other people gonna come to her rescue, so he can't really do anything back. Women like to attack the people they know can't do anything back to them. That's the pattern I see. I'm gonna put it like that. That's the pattern I see. But I got three new gentlemen up here, so I want to go
Re-
ahead and let
Real
these
quick,
guys
Roger.
get in.
Roger,
Oh, go ahead, Chef.
hang
Go
on,
ahead.
Roger. Real quick before you let them get in, we have only 48 likes on the video, and we got more folks in the chat. Y'all hit the like button. Seriously, it's more folks in the chat, and all of the rest of y'all ain't just hate watching. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the content, and share the channel. Just hit the like button real quick. Let's get back to the conversation. All right, Roger, go ahead.
Okay. Now I'm gonna let Inspired Truth go first because he just dropped out, but he just came right back. So Inspired Truth, I believe you were here first. Then we'll get Shark and Jado after you. Go ahead.
All right. First off, am I coming in loud?
Debatable.
Hello?
I'll say that.
Oh shoot.
Okay, I hear you now. I hear
Oh,
you now.
oh, I'm in now. Okay, good, good. All right. So, peace to you, Raj. Peace to the chat. Same to the folk on the panel. I'm probably gonna just kind of like drop what I gotta say real quick, and then maybe come back in a little bit later. Like from my perspective, this whole thing seems to center around one central theme to me is that they don't really have like a whole lot of real consequences. Like they need to actually have like a real actual fight, like not this whole jumping thing. Like it's been like about decades now where I see like more or less people just getting jumped more than having like a real one-on-one fight. Like they need to have like some real one-on-one fights, like make this stuff like almost like UFC like kids edition or something. Like get actual consequences from a real fight where you actually have to worry about walking away with something missing. Maybe you can't hear so well anymore. Maybe you can't see so well anymore. Those are some things that you get when you get into a real fight for real. I want to see them get to some real, actual supervised fights and see if they still got that left in them after that. But that's where I'll end.
I agree.
All right, Shark Tim. Well,
You know when that happens. You know when that usually happens, brother. That usually happens in an environment of men. Yeah, we used to. Our
Mhm.
older cousins and uncles, they used to arrange wrestling matches and boxing matches all the time amongst us. It was sort of like a gladiator academy on the west side of Chicago in the 70s, man. You have to get down. And
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 for
and sometimes it wasn't even just martial arts. Sometimes who could run the fastest, who could lift the most weights. I mean, you had all kinds of ways to settle scores or beefs or whatever. But these were men, you know. These were men. There was some code of honor, expectation of behavior. Okay, he won it, let it go. It would be that kind of thing. He beat your ass, let it go, and it would be over. But that was a code established amongst men, and unfortunately, we're about 3 generations away from that.
so true, so true. We're not back in your time, brother. We in now. You an old man like us, bro.
all right, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this too, and I'm gonna let Shark get it from there. Yeah. When you picked on somebody back in the day, people could find out you were picking on somebody, and it was gonna make you have that fight. They wasn't gonna let you just bother somebody without consequences. So, which I believe was the right move to make. But
But
let's
now,
get
but
let's
now, but
hold on. Let's let Shark and Jado get in. Let's let Shark and Jado get in.
Hey, peace, fellas. How y'all doing today?
What's
Doing
happening?
well, brother.
What's happening?
What's happening? Um, I'm gonna start it off like this. I call that video when the chickens come home to roost. Like I think y'all probably said it already. This is the result of 50, 60 years of I don't need a man to raise my children. I'm a strong black woman. I thought I would never think I would see the day that some little kids that size jump and beat up a woman, pregnant at that. They beat.
Real quick, she wasn't pregnant. It turned out she had sickle cell, which can make a woman look pregnant at times. But go ahead.
Well, they beat her wig off. I would never thought I would see something like that.
A wig off.
And seeing that really broke my heart and put me to the point where I don't think this thing will ever get right again. Ever get right. These kids is in 8th grade and jumped a grown woman. They was even heckling her, running down the street behind her, talking about look at her ankles, and the ankles was ashy. And I'm like, and then just her presentation. Our community is done. You better
Oh,
get your parachute and jump off the damn plane and try to land somewhere else, because it ain't getting no righter. And I land my plane right there. Sorry for taking 2 minutes and 38 seconds. Damn gold feet rubbing off on me.
Nah, you was fine, bro. I think you was still under your 2 minutes. And you ain't do
shout out
nothing
to
like
Shark.
those people.
Thank you for the 38
Yeah,
seconds.
but shout out to you for at least acknowledging. If you would have done what Goldie did, you'd at least say sorry.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Jado.
All right, what up, fellas, man?
What's happening, Jay? What's happening, man?
Salute to the chat, salute to the replay gang as well. Man, I grew up about a few miles from that area, man, and I'm kind of indifferent to this whole thing, man. I agree with you, Shark, man. I mean, I think it's done, man. It's a done data. It's over. Even me coming up in that area, it was a bullying culture too, and it was propagated by single mothers, man. But at least in my time, when I grew up around that area, uh, there was a there was a limit, man, and then at least mothers, when you say that word mother, it was still some type of credibility, some type of something that distinguished you. Like we would straighten up when somebody's mama came up to the school, man. That was we didn't go that far, but they've degraded black women, single black women, these single black mothers or whatever, they've degraded that word mother so much to where, I mean, I don't know what else that's supposed to happen, man. I mean, I expect that. I saw the people would prey on the weak. I mean, kind of very vicious in a vicious manner, uh, so to speak. And like I said, we did have a limit though. But so of course, this natural regression or progression, whatever way you want to look at it. I mean, it's supposed to happen, and I think this is just going to blow over, and we're going to carry on with business as usual, man. I don't see, yeah. But anyway, black women, these single mothers, have degraded motherhood so much to where why wouldn't these kids just attack them, man? Why wouldn't they? These single mothers bully their own children. So why wouldn't they get beat up? And again, I'm not trying to say nothing about this particular woman, man, this victim or whatever, but I mean, why wouldn't it happen, man? So I guess I'll end right there. Thanks for having me up, Ross.
I think you make a great, credible point. If you you got generations of children who are not even taught to respect adults, a single mother's gonna get it at some point, and realistically, yes, why would they get it at some point? Somebody gonna uproar somewhere. That's just the nature of humans, man. At some point in some time, somebody gonna be dissatisfied. They're gonna do something.
And can I piggyback off? Can I piggyback off Shark Sims right quick when he said, "It's the product. I don't even know a man." Why you think in the video a lot of they want the school system to do something instead of the man do something? Think about that. The school system is the replacement of the authority of man. That's basically what that's why they want them to do.
Yeah, we talking about the video when the guy was up at the school trying to talk to them,
Yep.
and they was trying
Yep.
to blame it on the school. And
Yep.
you notice he couldn't even talk to them. He's like, you
He
know
couldn't
what?
even talk to him.
I'm
Yep.
out of
He
here.
could. He
You know what he
bowed out.
did?
He said,
He said, I'm going to get me a pack of cigarettes. I'll be right back.
"Yep." He said, "I'm bowed the fuck." He said, "I bowed out." He said, "I'm done with it. I tried." I seen that. I was like, "See, I see right there."
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, people do have to understand there's gonna be real life consequences and stuff like that. Because, I mean, truth be told, if those were my children, when I got up to the school the next day, I would have just, as soon as you pointed out who they was, I would have just went and hit them or something. The problem, I mean, I would have did something. No, I'm saying realistically, I'm going to do something to make somebody daddy show up. That's me. You know what I'm saying? I'll get your kid in a way that's gonna make you gotta come. Like that 50 Cent song. You know what I'm saying about your mama still in the hood. I mess around and what he say something about shooting her house up and make you look for me. I'm just gonna have to make you look for me at some point. I can't intelligently live in the world where my child has to be afraid of something happening to them every single day. That's just not a world I'm not signing up to live in. So, I don't want to be violent toward anybody, anything like that, but I'm not gonna have my kids afraid either. And what do I do when you're willing to attack my child's siblings, and my child's mama? You putting out a very strong message in that one. And so somebody gonna have to look for me. Real talk. And if y'all ain't gonna look for me, then just so be it. But somebody gonna have to look for me. And that's just what it is.
Right, like I never thought I would see something like that, man. That was heartbreaking to see. You know what I mean? It's very heartbreaking to see. And I just like, but the irony of this whole thing, wasn't we talking about on Friday, like disciplining daughters?
That sounds familiar.
And y'all was like, yeah, but she got punched in the eye, so I'm not gonna give her a beating when she get home. Yo, this is what that's producing. These little dirt devils, little Tasmanian devils. The boys wasn't doing nothing. It was all girls beating up another woman. The irony of that in itself is like the black woman imploding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, I mean, I'm gonna say it's an extremely bad look when you think about it. But they were going after a boy. It's just his mama happened to be there.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say that could be very much an easy target situation because they think because we're girls, he can't do anything back to us. I think that's probably in there. I can't say it 100% for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's in there.
But Roger,
Well,
if they was going
he was
after the
also
boy, how they end up punching the moms in the face? Like, I don't
Not
understand that.
Well, the mother was trying to protect the son, but
yeah, the
the
mother.
bullying, you got to close the loop on this shit because the bullying was initiated by them bullying him about the health condition of the mother.
when
So
they
it was a weird kind of thing where the mother was trying to protect the son for bullying, but the bullying was inspired by her health condition. This is the kind of the evil that's in those children. I mean, for some people, sickle cell is a terminal illness. I mean, and they have no association at all with what that means, what that entails. I mean, it's like bullying a child whose parent is dying of colon cancer or something. I mean, there's no, there's again, there is some lessening of humanity that has occurred over time across generations, where as True Tell was saying earlier, there's a certain line even the worst criminals did not cross. And for these children, that line doesn't even exist. So of course they're gonna cross it because they don't even see it being there.
I don't know about that, Uru. I would say for women it doesn't exist because I seen a video not too long ago. The little black boys caught their op, and the mother was with them, and they let them ride. Like they ain't hit the mother, they ain't beat the mother up. It's like,
Yeah,
all right,
but
we gonna catch you.
they said Black Boy is recording these gangland events.
Well,
They said
I'm
it's
a,
a boy who's recording this stuff.
no,
I have
you're right.
I'm
I have a
gonna say
thought.
this: over time, it doesn't make a difference what type of man code you have. If men are not there, so the sons can pick up on the code would eventually be washed away, and that's just what it is. And that's something society can't get around.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, when that
This
structure isn't there for men to provide the discipline, the order, you're gonna break down to a primal level, man. That's like it's like a pack of wild dogs, hyenas, dogs, or whatever, man, attacking a weakness, man. They saw the weakness in the mother and they attacked. It's as
Yep.
simple as that. Primal level, man.
and they
this
will
is why this
out.
this is why we need to separate ourselves as productive black men and the women that we deal with and the children that we have. We have to separate ourselves
But
from these
but
people.
black reset. You discriminate against them, man. You gotta give them a chance, brother. You gotta give them a chance.
Yeah,
You
I don't
can't
like
separate
niggas.
them.
Of
You
course
can't
I'm
separate.
discriminate. Of course I'm discriminating. I don't like niggas.
You
But
being prejudiced towards them, man. You didn't get no
absolutely,
chance, man.
100%. The most prejudiced clans and peoples are the people who rule the world. I say we join them. We got to get rid of these niggas, man.
Those
We got
those
to.
are our young future. Like the lady said, those are our young future. And they're supposed to be lawyers and doctors and all
No,
that shit.
that's not our future. That those. See,
Those are future
people.
cemetery occupants.
See, this is the problem. People would say somebody's our future. What is a future? A future means you're going to be alive. You're going to at least exist. And then they start pointing out people who will likely kill people and get killed themselves. That realistically is not our future. Those would be people who's on a T-shirt somewhere. They probably
But
not gonna make it past 21.
you know what
They,
they're gonna
Correct.
say though? You know what
no,
they're gonna say though?
We
They're
don't
gonna say to
care.
you, Roger. They're gonna say, Roger, you know better than the white man since you want to separate us from because we different than
no,
others. Because
no,
y'all
no, no.
got all stuff like that. So
No, the thing
let-
is, white supremacy is going to be pushed, and somebody trying to use the white man to protect their bad or poor behavior is just another way of using white supremacy at the end of the day. When it comes down to it, you cannot be for black people but be against punishing black people.
yeah.
That just don't work.
Thank you for saying. Thank you elaborating
You
that,
know,
Roger. Because
you
a lot of
know.
people think like that too. A lot of people think like that. We try, but go ahead. I'm sorry. How about
No, the thing is, most black folks been raised to be some level of Christian. You know what I'm saying? it does. The book says spare your rod, spoil the child, and right behind that it says if you don't, if you do spare the rod, you literally hate your child. So you can't be pro hating your child and then start tripping when bad stuff happens. Now you hate your child or don't you? It's just a decision you got to make.
Well,
And
Roger, this day, the child had the rod, and they wasn't sparing it.
well, I mean, at the end of the day, the sad part is look like the mothers hate their child because again, the mothers quickly went from, you know, don't worry about it, I'm gonna discipline my child to who are you niggas to judge me? It was
But
more about their image than anything else so quickly. So I'm saying when you have that level of arrogance, I already know these children ain't being disciplined
it,
because mama
this
so.
this is dangerous to black men. This incident, because when you look at a people, if you want to know if those people are good or evil, look at their children. And see, they ain't gonna separate. If we don't separate ourselves from them, they're not gonna separate. The masses will not separate us from them. Just like when that brother went up there to when they had that rally and all that other kind of stuff, the woman wanted to do all the talking. What he's supposed to do was tell her, "Shut the fuck up. Y'all done already fucked this up." See, we
You
got to
know, that-
stop being
Would
soft
you?
on these people.
It was a sea of
I
women
agree.
out
I
there.
agree with you, Greg.
It was a sea of only women, and this is what I'll be saying about when I was talking about I forgot I need a better way to say it because y'all gonna kill me again for saying it, but that's what I was talking about. Like we have to be a lot more strategic with how we use our thing because them women wasn't supposed to have no children in the first place.
And let me say this too. What we not
It's
gonna
called
what we
fallacy. Fallacy.
hold on. What we not gonna do too is use something like this to be on any white supremacist thing because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna let nobody use this to have a reason to hate other black people. The women are doing something that's wrong. Because number one, they're raising children without their fathers. So they just wrong off GP. All right. And the issue is we need to start seeing that as a wrong thing to do. Why are we cool with women having children without men? You know what I'm saying? Because it's far too many people that's black who they okay with this type of situation. And I'm saying as a productive man, you can't control what your people do, but you can discourage them from doing stuff that don't make sense for us as a community. So I personally never encourage women to have children without the man. If you want to have that baby, why don't you just go get married? I say stuff like that to women. Now I understand that I might be the only guy who said it to him, might be the first guy who said it to him, but I'm still gonna say it to him. Look, if you gonna mess with this dude and end up praying, why don't you just get married first? If
Hey,
you
Roger, if she just ignores your message right there and just does it anyway, what happens after that?
well, I mean, this happens after that.
Right. And then,
That's my point, but you
but
still gotta
then
get
what
your
though?
message.
But even with this, Roger, then what happens?
See, and
We
this is the
talk
thing,
about it
y'all.
for a week and it's over with.
Okay, well, see, this is the thing, and I meant to say this much earlier in the show. This why, if this was my child would be told if somebody's picking on you at school, you got to beat the brakes off of them. That's what I would do. Cause I'm living in the real world. I say black men got to look both ways before they cross the street. Let's say my child is going to get targeted at some point. No, you beat the brakes off them kids. Why? Because ain't nobody going to do nothing. And people would be saying, well, you shouldn't teach your child that. Ain't nobody going to do nothing. My
Even
child going to handle it.
that's a tough pull.
Oh, you cut out.
Blacko, yeah,
That was
you broke
over.
up, Blacko. We didn't hear you.
Yeah.
That's a tough what? Okay.
OG.
Well, when he get back, he get back. But
Oh,
I'm gonna
I'll say this. I want to say this right quick. The truth, not truth teller, but inspired truth. The reason why, no, they don't do one-on-one fights no more because they don't want to see their homeboys lose. If somebody's a professional fighter in one-on-one fights, and that if they favor that person that they favorite that they're losing, they'll jump you because they they think their homeboys should win instead of you winning. That's why I said they don't have that no more. It's time to change.
Well, no, it's
I ain't no.
the thing is when you got a bunch of people raised by women, the trending thing amongst women is to attack the person that cannot protect themselves. That is a normal thing to women. Okay, women attack people who they don't believe can protect themselves. So they're always going to do something in more of a line of jumping somebody than have a fair fight. And you have enough boys raised by women over enough generations, the boys just going to be doing what their mamas told them, or they're just going to be copying the behavior that their mamas display. So at
But
the end of the day, that's not going to matter. The issue is, since I know I'm in a society where no one's going to do anything, my child has to be trained to beat the brakes off anybody that comes against them.
And
Just
and,
as-
and but the thing is, your child. But the thing is, Roger, I grew up in the millennial era. The thing is, with your child, you teach him the right way, and he doesn't. You know,
the
he
right
follows.
way is
He
to
follows.
win.
Yes, I know.
Right.
You teach him. You teach him that, right? The thing is, they still won't like your child because they don't favorite him. They don't like him.
I
They
don't
don't. They
care for
don't.
my child to
They
be
don't
liked.
like
I
him.
care for my child to
I
win.
know. I know. But it's still gonna be an issue because they still, even if your child wins, they still won't respect.
Who's gonna be an issue with it? Man, you sound crazy.
Hey, Roger, man, my
I ain't
bad.
never know nobody I grew up with that could fight that people didn't like him. They like him so they wouldn't get in the fight with him. What are you talking about?
Yeah. They listen. I grew up. Listen, it might be sound crazy, but that's what they do. They constantly gonna challenge that person. And you gotta fight. No matter what, because they don't. He's not popular. They don't like him. That's the thing. They don't
If
like him, so they
if
still going to
my
try him.
no, if my child wins, my child can come home and tell me what the situation is, and then I can figure out what the next move is from there. If my child loses, I don't know how my child gets home, if he even makes it home. I just rather my child win.
Well, I'm gonna just say, man, Bud Crawford is an example.
Come on, bro.
Bud is an example. His
Yes,
mama used
Thank
to
you, Pete.
set
Thank
him
you, Pete.
up to go out and fight.
The whole city love that man.
Thank you,
And
Pete.
Roger,
Thank you, Pete.
And Roger, check your Cash App, man. Why I gotta come? I gotta tell you stuff. I put in the chat. Why you guys was want me to fight Roger?
Who said
Go
the cash out the Roger?
Go P.
Go P.
Oh,
He wants to fight Roger.
So what you said? You saying nobody sent the cash out?
Okay, good.
I told you I'm
Okay.
special, man.
Okay.
I told you I'm your huckleberry.
All right, shout out to you, Gold P. Okay. Gold P sent the cash out. He says for plus 57 cents trail Bentley tax, plus 38 cents Shark Sims tax.
You got a new Shark Sims tax.
He got tax on tax over here. So
you got a Shark Sims tax now.
Yeah, he got $5.95. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that brother sitting in the $5.95. He put two tax on that thing.
Hey, Shark, you got a tax now, bro.
Okay. And I'm gonna say shout out to Elder Blood, because you know what? Friday something came in. I just want to make sure I said that on Friday. He did send a $10 cash out on Friday. I think I said it, but I just wanted to make sure. I just want to make sure, just to be on the safe side. So shout out to you, brother. Shout out to Kevin 3905, who just put $10 on it. No tax, but he surpassed Gold Pito. No tax, but he's
No, he didn't. I put a tax on it, man. I blessed Shark Sims with a tax, so that don't surpass nothing.
He's
tax on,
man. Okay, now the unfortunate part is he back on this Subway sandwich for
see.
It be your own people, y'all. It be your own people.
It be your own people, man. It be your own people. I'm up here creating a new tax system, and I'm getting charged with the Subway system.
Now, go see you holding weight right now, Joe. You holding weight because he sneaked this and why he's in it in.
Yeah, he got to sneak this. He got to sneak this. I came out front. Said, hey, I'm your Huckleberry.
And I'm gonna say, shout out to No Placeholder who just came through with the $5. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you, my brother. And shout out to Mr. Trail Bentley himself. He say tax overall.
Tax overall. You see what I'm talking about? Tax overall. Okay.
Hey, shout out to you,
Listen.
brother.
Hey, listen. That Trail Bentley tax and now that Shark Sims tax means something, baby. It means something. It overrides that money that Kev 39, tried to lay out his, subway journeys and Bali's, his escapades.
Feed the brother. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm just trying to feed my brother. Wishing him success on his search for the twins journey.
You heard what Trail said. Tax overall, man. We pay our taxes over here, brother. You over here paying under the table and stuff.
All right, we got one more brother. We got Mossberg Justice. I'm not playing, y'all. Mossberg Justice Kryptonian has entered the building. Okay, brother, you got the flow. Before you go, y'all, I'm finna be messy for a hot second, y'all. Why Shark tax got to be 38 cents when Trail Bentley tax was the first tax and it was 57 cents? What you trying to say about Shark?
See, you start stuff, Roger.
No.
You start stuff, man.
We go. I just said I'm gonna be messy. But we're gonna give it over to Mossberg.
No, hold on. We know what the 38 cents is.
What was the 38 cents?
There's meaning behind it, man.
Oh, you're right. You know what? That makes sense.
There's meaning behind it, man.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I should have picked up on that one. My bad.
You need to put your helmet back on, Roger. Put your helmet back on.
All right, Mossberg Justice, you got the flow, my brother. You got the flow.
Good evening, gentlemen. Happy Monday to everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah. And just so Chef Mike know, y'all, I'm done, Chef Mike. He said that's my second one. I'm done. It's over with. I'm done. All right, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
In regards to the subject, all I'm seeing is, hyenas fighting other hyenas. For me, that's just entertaining. I'm just sitting back since ain't no man around. They can't blame it on a black man. They cannot say that it was a bunch of black boys putting hands and paws on an innocent woman. They can't claim none of that. It's them attacking each other. You know? When men are not around to be the buffer class for them to talk ish about, or worse yet, put hands on, they turn on each other. This is a manifestation of the absence of black men. Maybe it would be a black man catching those hands. But since ain't no black men around, attack each other. So for me, that's sad, and it's also kind of entertaining. You know what I mean? Because I got no love for the hyenas. Okay? Just yeah. But if he was my child getting attacked like that, well, just saying, somebody would definitely gonna have to watch their back because I might be coming with either the Mossberg or the baseball bat. Because you're gonna catch some hands because it's not their first time. These are bullies. They gotta be dealt with. Unfortunately, they're not 18 yet, so I'm not going to consider to go all the way with it. But once they hit 18, they they gotta get a dirt nap for sure.
All right, some sobering comments. I'll say that. Now, y'all, this is the thing that can sound harsh, and it is harsh to the your kid. And y'all see the video I'm gonna put up. They did mention something about the village, and my thing is people like to put it off on the village until the village sees your kid. Now, if the village want to do something to your child, nobody wants to get a kid to the village so the village can discipline the child as we see fit. but then they quick to say it's about a village. How is it a village and you don't want to give me your child so I can do what the village need to do? I can handle
Exactly.
the village business, you know.
Exactly.
You know, so a lot of black women just take that as it's to me they create a disturbing situation when they start talking about the village, but I can't punish your child. Now let's be realistic. If I'm out in the street and your child do something to me and I beat your child up, or if I literally take off my belt and whoop your child as if it was mine. Now I ain't even saying I'm trying to really hurt your child. I just whoop your child in the same way that I would whoop my own child. Not to hurt, just to discipline. How would black women take that?
They ain't gonna take it well because they'll say responsibility, but they don't really want to give you the authority that goes along with that responsibility. So they're just talking.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now
True. It's not only that. The thing is, they want you to teach their child not of the what how they want you to teach them, not the way how you want them to teach them. That's basically what they want to do.
I what see that I'm gonna say I was gonna put a little more sauce on this. If I whoop your child didn't attack me or something. Let's say I'm on public transportation for whatever reason. We and usually if you go into downtown, you would take some public transportation. Okay, so I done took the train downtown. Your child done attacked me on the train. I pull off my belt. I whoop your child. Now we know the women gonna act a fool if I give their child a whooping. But now I'm gonna say, as men, can you accept that I whoop your child? You don't know me, but I done gave your child a whooping because your child was acting a fool and
Not
then
if it,
brought it to me. Can
if
you accept that I whooped your child?
if it's their daughter, they're gonna have a
I
conniption fit.
Well, Roger,
I can
Roger,
I can
listen.
accept it if we're in the same community and I know Roger. I know Roger. I know he's married. I know he's got children. I know how he raises his family. He knows how I raise my family. My family don't spend time with his family. I have approved of Roger via the community in which we live in. I can accept it.
Kev,
Roger, well,
Kev, that was
Roger, I
Kev,
would
that,
say this, brother.
Kev. That was
Look,
not the question that Roger presented.
I would say this, man. You got to look at where you
Good boy.
coming from because there are a number of us who grew up in a time where the neighbor can put that whoop on you, and I was subject to that myself. I'm special. Uh, I call whoopings
Yeah.
from the neighbor up the street because we had that, but in the days of now, nah, it
No,
ain't happening.
but no. I'm asking this question for a reason because this is the thing. We can't get too hard up on the women doing something that we not gonna let happen either. Because now I'm asking a real question here because things could happen. Somebody may whoop your child because your child is doing something they ain't got no business doing. But now it's time for the village to discipline your child. Now, I'm not saying you look like a shady person or anything like that. I'm saying you may have whooped somebody's child. You probably grabbed their cell phone because most kids gonna have a cell phone. You call their parents up, whatever the case is. Mama don't answer. They get dad on the phone. Yeah, I'm over here. I'm down on 43rd Street, right? I'm down on 43rd. Your kid was doing X, Y, and Z. Now I'm gonna just tell you straight up. I did take my bet off and I gave your child a whoop. Can we accept that as me?
Yes, if
I
I heard
would.
you
Yes.
right, if I
Yes, I
heard you right,
would.
it
Yes.
was like where the kid
One
goes and like hauls off on you, and then you just whip them instead of like full on giving them an adult beat down. I'm like, you let them off easy.
one hundred
Uh,
percent. Hey, 100%, Roger, and I would take you out to dinner too.
I want. I want. I want to. I want.
Roger,
I want an apology because that's exactly the question I was answering. I heard him right the first time.
See,
Well,
see, he heard you with the start here.
Chef Mike saying something in the comment section. He wants you to read something for him.
Okay.
I know I've served a lot of kids some whoopings, so
Three previous times. Okay, Chef Mike say read his three previous comments, y'all. So that's one, that's two, that's three. Okay, so Chef Mike says they are known for their incredible endurance, chasing prey at high speeds for long distances until the animal is exhausted. Okay, uh, they work in clans to isolate vulnerable prey and bring it down, using their powerful jaws and teamwork to succeed. Well, that's Patchy saying. Oh, hold on. I was supposed to read something else before that one. And I guess that's going to describe who he was referring to.
Oh, he talking about hyenas.
Yeah, that
Yep.
seems like that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, it seemed to be going in that direction.
Some type of predatory animal. And I would like to talk about their breeding patterns too.
Oh shit. Yeah, right. You're
Oh
right,
Lord.
Diego.
Okay, where the third comment at? Did y'all put that much stuff in between y'all?
No, the third one is they are effective hunters that also frequently scavenge. Yeah, scavenge
Oh,
when the opportunity arises.
oh, dude, it's deeper than that. It's deeper
That's
than that.
that's a hyena.
The
Off
That's a
top.
hyena,
hyena.
the hyena has a genitalia of the male almost community about male genitalia. I was like, I was looking at reading that. I was shocked.
I mean, at the end of the day, it is about how you represent your community. You know, and the thing is, that's why I've always said that black men are the community, women just participate in one. If she's not participating, we probably shouldn't claim it. If you're an adult woman and you no longer live with your father, you chose to go outside your father's home. And I know a lot of people gonna say, well, what about the fact? What if she grew up with her mama? She was never in. And you cannot be in until a respectable, productive, functional black man that believes in black men's leadership marries you. That's the only way for a woman to get in. And if she's not in, we need to treat her like she's not in. And that's just real talk. And I'm saying the children of all the kids that jumped this woman seem to be people that is not in our community. They
Yeah.
should be. You can say that. They should be, but they're not.
Yeah,
And
on top of that, like I don't know how it got, I don't know if it got lost in translation, but like sickle cell, like when you have that, that is also a chronic pain condition. Like it's not just, a sad, condition to have. It's also like chronic pain. So they ended up like attacking somebody that's already in chronic pain on top of it, making it even worse.
Kids don't care. Kids don't know and they don't care.
The predatory animals, they look for the weak and the sick. That's the first people they go for.
yeah, I think Black Root made a strong point. If y'all didn't catch it, he said that's the thing. That boy mama had a sick mother. So they probably was already cracking jokes about it and whatnot. And 9 times out of 10, they knew his mama was sick because they done seen his mama before. Y'all think they ain't never pressed him like, hey, what's wrong with your mama? Man, my mama's sick. She got sickle cell. You know what I'm saying? That's what kids do. Once they got that information, it was a wrap. They was gonna get him at some point. Now, like I said, the father theory is he keep his kids in a better condition than other kids in the area. So he say, "No, see, they so fresh, so clean now the kids want to bother them." And the fact that this was a bunch of girls, which does hint at jealousy, it does make sense to me. So now we already jealous, and your mama sick.
Wait, why are they
Oh,
jealous of him?
Roger. Oh, Roger. I gotta add something else
Well,
too.
real
The
quick,
mama.
he said,
What?
why were the kids jealous? The father said the kids he believes the kids were jealous because he's involved in his kids' life, so he's buying them clothes. So his kids is dressed a little more fresh than the other kids. So you
Roger.
know what I'm saying?
Roger, I'm gonna add on to that. I'm gonna add on to the statement on what onto that what you said. He also the mother. I don't know if you've seen the video. The mother. The mother in the hospital said when she got beat up, she said that her kid is not a fighting kid. Her kid is very friendly. He doesn't like fighting. So that tells you something about that kid. That kid is a friendly kid.
I mean, I did see that. I'm gonna say this. The kid didn't seem to try to fight nobody. We seen the video. The kid didn't seem like he was trying to fight anybody. The kid just want to go home. And then for the other two siblings to be brought into it, which ain't had nothing to do with anything, that just made it so much worse at the end of the day. So the thing is, everybody want to say something about village, but you won't turn your kid over to the village. Why don't you let me discipline your children?
Roger, them kids beat the whole village ass that day. They beat the mother, the son, and the little daughter. They was going to work. You would have literally thought it was grown people outside fighting outside the club or something. The way them kids was getting down.
Again, the way I saw it, that girl who video seemed to be getting the most attention, who to me looked like she was having fun in that apology video, she kicked it off by stealing off the mama. That's the first lick I could come. That's the first lick that was thrown from what I can, come to a conclusion on. She hit mama first. She didn't even hit the boy first. She stole off mama.
And she
talking about she was a follower. Who was you following and you stole off the mom?
And she went and took a coat off before she stole off her mom. So before she had the coat, then when she got back in frame, she had a coat off and she hit it with that right, bang, and it was all over from there.
Well, I think she got it from her mama.
Exactly.
She got it.
Oh no! Oh, did y'all hear about the aunt?
You see fights of black women fighting all over the place in the grocery store, check cashing line.
Yeah, she got it from her mama, man.
Well, like I said, I'm gonna add a video after the show, which I believe is the best put together to kind of see who the mamas are. I'm not saying it was quote unquote the best video I've seen because I watched a bunch of stuff on these folks, but I think it's a well put together to get some kind of insight on who some of these mothers are.
It gets worse though, Roger. The auntie was there. They said the auntie was there in person while the woman was getting beat up. She said, "Oh, I didn't." She said, "Why I got look like breaking up a fight with all them kids." He said, "I just stood there and that's it." I said, "You mean to tell me you was present? Adult was present in that video and you did not do anything?"
No. This is the thing. This is the thing because you got to make this stuff clear. A woman who claimed to be the aunt of one of the children actually that was involved said she was there and she didn't do anything. So that means your niece was in it and you wouldn't even tell your niece to stop. Now, my thing is this. Either you was just downright cool with it in the first place and you wanted Shorty and his family attacked, or at the end of the day, you are such a poor mother and auntie, because I'm assuming the cousins talk to each other, that you didn't even see it as your rightful place to tell your niece to stop. Like your niece don't even respect you enough to stop. Because I guarantee you, had any of my aunties saw me about to do something wrong, I instantly changed my plans. You could call me dead or I'm red-handed. You could have called me with a brick in my hand with it cocked back like I was finna throw. If auntie asked me what I was doing, we finna go build a wall, auntie. This is the first brick. You know what I'm saying? We doing something else. But the last thing you about to hear me say, I'm finna throw a brick at anything at that point. My plans literally just changed. We gonna put a wall together. I found this. This is gonna be the first brick we use. Now that would be a lie, but I'm scared enough of even my aunties to tell them I'm about to do something wrong. My plans changed instantly. How do your niece not respect you like that?
One of the reasons why they established social services and orphanages, I mentioned early public schools, is that when you had these situations where children were ill-made or ill-bred, I guess, made out of wedlock, or I guess the term most derisively used is bastards. People were killing those kids. This incident, if you rewind the clock back, to maybe 1920s or something like that, them some dead kids. So, what I foresee happening is that they're gonna start turning the clock back on some of this shit. And unfortunately, that's probably what it's gonna really take for some other things to happen, for some other responsibilities to be assumed. Because you just find some dead kids on the streets back then, like some loose trash or something.
Like one of them old horror movies when the high school kids just keep disappearing and they like who's the villain, like some Freddy Krueger shit. Just one by one by one by one.
Say who gonna be
Yeah, I
next?
mean, a lot of these fairy tales and stuff allude to things that happen to children that aren't all that great. I mean, this whole protection of children thing is a more of a modern phenomenon. And as you
I
have
think
more of this kind of stuff happen, people are going to start finding convenient ways to get rid of that problem.
I think that's where we move out of the rhetorical stuff and move into like a real actual culture war where it's depravity versus not.
I mean, this is the thing, you know. As a man, if I have a court case and I get to be on the jury, because y'all knows I'm gonna continue to push. We need to really start getting on these juries whenever we get an opportunity. How do I convict a man that killed your kid when your kid attacked his kid and you ain't do nothing? How do I convict him for protecting his family? I don't think that's morally correct. I can't stand behind that. I can't go to sleep at night knowing that I convicted a man for offing some kid that was attacking his kid and the parents just didn't do nothing. And anybody who says something like, what if it was their first time? Unfortunately, sometimes you gotta learn the hard way your first time. Learning the hard way ain't guaranteed to second, third, fourth, or fifth. Sometimes you gotta learn the hard way the first time. My daddy told me everybody gonna learn. It's just unfortunate some people gonna learn when they die. No.
Mm-hmm.
I believe my daddy. I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it real with. I believe him. Some people ain't gonna get it till they dead. Unfortunately for them, that's what it took. Because I can't sit here as a man and say we just can't protect our children. Because that don't make sense to me. Yeah. And if it was my kid, I mean, I don't know. I might even pay somebody to jump these kids. I don't know. I don't know how I would handle it because I would be mad. If I was that father, like I say, I got a woman. Now, I would be married if it was my situation. So it would be my wife. Man, let me hear my wife got sickle cell and she got jumped. Do y'all understand how mad I'd be at just one of those things? But let me hear my wife with sickle cell got jumped. I don't care who jumped her. And that's just being for real. My woman out here picking up my kids from school and she got jumped and she happens to have sickle cell. And that can be rough for a lot of people, y'all. There's different levels of having sickle cell. Sickle cell can be really, really rough on people. And my wife out there picking my kids up and she got sickle cell and she got jumped. Nigga, I'm going off. And that's real talk. I probably wouldn't even made no promise. Like dude was sitting there, yeah, I'm gonna be on good behavior. They want you to act the fool. Can you guarantee you ain't gonna do nothing? Yeah, I ain't gonna do nothing. Now, I probably wouldn't have said none of that. Truth be told, I probably wouldn't have said none of that. These kids are clearly looking for smoke. And they gonna be y'all. I cannot imagine me not doing anything and my wife with sickle cell was attacked. Now I can't even say that to y'all as a man that I could even say something like that.
So
my wife got sickle cell, she got attacked, and I ain't gonna do nothing. No, and I'm not saying anything against him for how he is presenting himself, because I get it, he's presenting himself in a public light for reasons. Man, I'm probably just gonna publicly mess y'all up. At the end of the day, my wife got sickle cell. I'm gonna have to just do something to you.
But you gotta remember, you gotta move in silence. So he might be plotting. Because me, I wouldn't even have let this. Man, I would have been like, I'd have had little Johnny, and every day I'm gonna come get him from school, and he gonna show me who was there. And like Uru said, it's like Hansel and Gretel. Niggas get lost in the woods.
Say one of these days, Hansel ain't coming home.
In Singapore, people get caned for way less than this, like way less.
Mm-hmm. Because are they talking about any repercussions for the children? Damn, because they only like 10, like 13 years, so they can't even go to. Sure, this is crazy.
That's a video I seen. I don't know if your brother seen this. It's an old video. This came out in 2019. You seen the little boy got jumped in the bathroom, right? By like 4 or 5 kids. That video went viral. I don't know what happened. I don't know how they found out. They found out the kids they jumped the little boy in the bathroom. They went after every kid one by one. It was brothers. And it was black. It was one black boy fought one of the boys 1-on-1. He couldn't fight back. It was beautiful. I said he got his. He got his. They got their get back. But this one is difficult.
All right.
This one is something different.
Now I'm gonna say shout out to Link. Link says my question is, why was she and her child chosen? Well, if you didn't hear it, the father said the most likely reason they was chosen because his kid has some nice stuff. This is just about kids being jealous of another kid who got nice clothes on. This is about a kid being able to afford things that his peers may not be able to afford. But I mean, to me, it don't really make no difference. Children should have enough respect for adults alone that even if they was gonna jump a kid, we not gonna jump him in front of his mama. Whoever got the bag of chips, you making a lot of noise or whatever that is. Yeah, we not gonna jump the kid in front of their mama. Like who jumps somebody in front of their parents? Back in the day, mom or dad, that kid was safe. We gonna catch you. We just gonna get you when your mama ain't looking though. Nobody did something like this. So my thing is, you have the level of disrespect is so through the roof with these children because they did attack a child with their mama, and it looked like they hit the mama before they even hit the kid. So with that type of level of disrespect, I don't know what to say. That I mean, these kids shouldn't really be just walking around on some safe stuff. They really shouldn't be. And I'm gonna say they prove why fathers need to be in the picture. Because if you're the father of one of these girls that did this, I know this is a somewhat of a tricky situation. But again, I'm gonna give these men credit until somebody can prove anything different. I'm gonna say I bet you none of their daughters would have did this had they been in their father's home. I'm gonna keep sticking to that. I bet you if any one of them girls was being raised in their father's home, they'd have never did this. And that's just real talk. They'd have never done this.
And that little girl, the one that did the video, she ain't look like she got her ass whipped when she got home either. She was supposed to look
Nope,
worn
she
out
did not.
on that video.
That girl was having fun in that video. That video was a joke to her.
Because they wore that lady out. Like when she did that press conference the next day and her lip was all busted, and I said, oh, this is crazy.
You talking about the victim?
Yeah, the victim.
I mean,
do they know all of the children that did it?
They all been identified. The internet jump on stuff like that. All of them been identified.
Yeah, they all been identified. So they still working on the kid, the two little boys that was attacking the son too, also as well. So they still working on that.
I didn't see nothing. I didn't see nothing about the boys attacking. I just saw a boy was shooting. A boy supposedly filmed it. I don't know if any other boy did anything.
Yeah, it was
like
two other
all
boys.
girls.
It was all girls, but it was two other boys that also got involved too.
Because then did you see how they did the little sister? They ragged the little sister, threw her in the middle of the street, and somebody came off the curb like it was WWE with the boom. I was like, yo, this is. But they get it from watching these niggas fighting all the goddamn time online with these smartphones, and it just comes to a point where now the kids is desensitized.
You're right. And Shark Sims, this is why I said when it comes, what's his name was Inspired Truth said, when it comes, how much you want to bet if you get a professional fighter 1-on-1, they wouldn't be doing it. They wouldn't be doing that. They wouldn't be all hyped up and stuff like they get their ass whooped. Excuse my language. They whoop.
These are kids, so they never gonna get to the point of having to deal with a professional fighter. But the issue is they don't have to answer to anybody but their mama, and based on their behavior, it suggests answer to their mamas don't mean anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
See, a lot of people try to put stuff on fathers, but at the end of the day, it's all about who you answer to. Because there's some children, shout out to AL, raised by their grandparents. They know how to act because they got to answer to their grandparents. There's some people, unfortunate situation happens, they raised by their uncle and auntie, but they know how to act. It's all about who you got to answer to when you're a child. And these kids act like they ain't answering to nobody but themselves. Because who would go steal off on somebody's mama? That means like you're not going to answer to the police. You definitely ain't answering to your daddy. That's just a foregone conclusion. Ain't no kid who got to answer to their daddy finna go steal off somebody's mama.
Well, you remember that one video with I think it was in New York, where they was in the projects and the girl went to her ex-boyfriend's house and punched his mom's in the face a couple times on video, like, this your mom's, punched her in the face. They found her dead a couple of months
Oh
later.
yeah, I seen that video. Yeah, that was she was a teacher. She was a teacher. Yeah, I seen that video. She ended up
Did I
missing.
cover that story?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
It's not coming to my head right now, so I'm gonna say, holler at me in Bible class.
Yeah, Shark Sims. We're gonna have to talk about that, man, behind a closed door.
If you can cover, if you can find that too, I might be interested in something like that. I want to see what the story is behind that.
I got you.
Now my thing is this, y'all. How do we live in a society where you can't do nothing to women, but we supposed to expect that this type of stuff ain't gonna happen? Because a girl did steal off the mom. The same girl who looked like she got home and was told to make a video and was told to say certain stuff in the video, who I don't believe she was in trouble at all. I think that girl was really ready to laugh even while she was recording that video. She was wiping her face as if she was crying. I didn't see one tear. I didn't see anything from the people in the room. I'm gonna say that because it's debates about who these people were to her. They saying somebody's the mama, somebody is an auntie, and somebody's like a family friend. Whoever these people are to her, she don't seem to fear y'all at all. And based on how y'all acted, I don't think there's nothing to fear. If anything, I think this will give her encouragement to go do even wilder stuff. Because if I can do all this and get away with it, I need to push it to the next level. That's what kids do. But I ain't see nothing for her to be afraid of. All this we talking about the village and they just kids and she's gonna have to answer for the wrong she played a part. Man, let me just say, if that was me, y'all, or even my sisters, bro, by the time that video came on, she pouring tears. She gonna be able to. If that was my sister, she could barely talk. If let her have been involved in something like that, she would barely be able to get anything out, talking about how sorry she was.
Yeah, my mother would have been beating me while I'm making the video. You know how they beat you between the sentences? Like the beating is the periods or the commas.
Yeah.
Well, the law take that whooping kids things differently now, so I'm thinking they would have just turned it on after the beating. They're not gonna show you the beating, but they're gonna show you the results of the beating.
I'm telling you, I'm sticking to my original thing. They need an amateur junior league. They need to be in it.
Baby Fight Club.
Yeah.
That's why I think I agree too. Truth. I agree too. That's why I said professional MMA, little leagues, boxing, something they could get whooped. And they learn their lesson, whatever like that.
Right.
You said Little League Boxing.
What? If I had a son, they would have learned that day. And I'm never coming off that, y'all. So trust me, if Roger have kids in the future, if Roger kids get attacked, Roger kids gonna understand. Make sure you win, and you just come home and tell daddy how you won. That's what your job is. You win. Point blank. Don't worry about what nobody gonna do. Just win. Come home. Tell me.
Well, with Roger, why would you get jumped though? You get jumped in.
I don't
It's
care.
hard to get a one-on-one.
I don't care. I don't care. See, my kids would be taught to be the way I am. I don't bother nobody. That's a rule of life for me because I never know what somebody's going through. So I don't bother anybody. Period. I just don't. I ain't never started a fight in my life, and I'm pretty sure I will die never starting a fight. I'm just not gonna do something like that. But if the fight come to me, if you think you can't walk away, if you think it's unsafe to walk away, get the first lick in, win. That's what I'm gonna tell my kids. Try to walk away if possible. If it's a situation where you don't really confidently believe you can walk away, get the first lick in and win. That's what I'm telling my kids. I'd rather my kids apologize to your kid and your kid get the black eye. That's simple to me. If somebody come out really hurt, I'd rather your child be in the hospital, not mine.
Yeah.
Because I'm keeping it real. I know we say a lot of stuff on some politically correct stuff. No, I'd rather your child be hurt than my child be hurt. And that's just keeping it real as a father. Okay, I just rather be your kid. I would rather my kid apologize. And that's what my daddy told me. Just being sometimes you're gonna have to make an apology. I'd rather my child just apologize for beating up your child. But my child thought that they couldn't walk away. So they had to get it in first. I'm not even tripping that my child hit first because my child would know not to start nothing with anybody. But if you got to fight, try to get the first lick. Is that serious to me?
Another thing is the reason why women be more privy on the girls than the boys because they whoop the boys, but they won't whoop the girls. Also as well.
I think that's all this came from. You got a bunch of girls that don't have any consequences. Nothing's gonna happen to them.
They take the aggression out on the boys than the girls.
Well, no, I'm saying y'all, the video out there, y'all didn't hear anything about anybody doing anything to them. Think about that. Did anybody? Because maybe y'all saw something I didn't see. At any point, did y'all see anything about anything happening to the people that did this stuff?
No. Nope.
Now, well, I'm gonna give credit to one mother who said in the post she gonna whoop her kids. She did at least say that in the post. Now, how real that's gonna be, I don't know. And then after she said that, the script flipped and she got on to who is y'all to judge me or my kids type stuff. So I don't think she gonna go through with it at the end of the day. I think she was lying, and that's real talk. Because anybody who punished their kid, I don't think you just turn and then be like well, y'all don't know how my family, y'all don't know what my kids got to go. I don't think you do all that if you're going to punish your kid. Had that been me, bro, I think this whole time I would just simply be embarrassed as that child. Because number one, I probably would have had to make an apology video. Knowing my parents, if we were living in today's time, I probably would have had to make an apology video. I probably would have had tears all over my face when I made that apology video. 9 times out of 10, I really do believe my parents would have turned me over to that woman who got jumped, and they would have had me doing all kinds of stuff for her. I'd have been doing all kinds of extra chores, washing cars or whatever, and that they got a dad involved over there, so my father would have been like, "Look, man, make my son do this, whatever you need done that you couldn't get to, make my son do it."
No, I don't know, Roger. That wouldn't have happened because we never would have thought about lifting our hands to a grown person, let alone a woman.
Now I couldn't imagine that one.
Let alone a woman. What? Oh my God.
So now, y'all, I'm finna get ready to close it down because we about to hit that 3-hour mark. So I got it.
Can you hear me?
Oh, go ahead. Who's that? Was that Chef? Go ahead, Chef.
Yeah, I think it's Chef.
That was me.
Yeah, you coming?
We hear you.
Am I coming in clear, right?
We hear you. Go ahead, brother.
All right. This is the reason that I put that information about hyenas in the chat. How do lions interact with hyenas in the wild?
Oh, they attack each other. It's never pleasant.
With great hostility.
With
exactly.
great hostility. Now, Roger, in that same book you love to reference, and I ain't got no problem with your references, there is a part that says, if you want wisdom, first look at nature. And I ain't gonna say nothing else after that.
I'm gonna say well said, brother. And y'all, I just saw a video not too long ago, probably less than 2 weeks, where it just happened to be, and it's one of them nature things, y'all. They just happened to be showing lions and hyenas, and it wasn't a pleasant thing between anybody, y'all. It's extremely adversarial, real talk, extremely adversarial. So at some point in time, you got to look at these people and say, they're not my people. My people don't have little girls going around punching women. That's not my people. Those not mine. Okay, real talk. Picking on kids for having autism is one thing, and then to pick on a man with autism, that's just even further. Them ain't my people. Okay. At some point in time, y'all, we got to be real about who we are and what we doing. And unfortunately, ain't nobody talking about doing anything to them kids that I can tell. Okay. I don't see none of those mothers doing anything. Based on what I seen their responses have been. And y'all, I'm gonna put a link, like I said, that I think kind of shows and I give you a good idea of who the mothers actually are. Because I'm gonna say they definitely disappointed me. So any of them women, if y'all hear me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm just disappointed in all y'all. Real talk. I'm very disappointed in y'all. I shouldn't have to know you personally to think you would do something about this. I'm extremely disappointed in all y'all, because it ain't just the fact that your kid did it. It's the fact that your kid got caught and everybody see what your kid did, and you still look like you ain't finna do nothing about it. And if nothing else, Black women do care about their image more than anything else. So the fact that they won't even do anything for image purposes, so this is what they tell me they believe their image should be. That's crazy to me. And that's sad. But I gotta close it out. Would anyone like to make a last statement?
I like to make a statement.
Yeah, I'll take one too. I got after you, Kev.
Um, this proves that the reason why we have the black manosphere and the purpose for the black manosphere, and that we are righteous in our cause, that we are trying to correct the black community. And the problem is all these single mothers that will not submit themselves properly to a man and to a husband before having children. This is just proof. This is a symptom of the cause of the disease. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Sharp.
This is not going to be the last time this happens. And the bad part about it is nobody can protect them from their own creation. Because look, these kids are young. These kids are like 12, 13 years old. They can overpower a woman and whip her damn behind. And you're going to keep seeing this and keep seeing this. And they don't have nobody they don't have nobody covering them. They don't have no protection. And their own, it's like Frankenstein. Just a black Frankenstein. So keep your eyes out and keep your head on a swivel, because you're going to see it some more.
And I'm gonna say again, I would bet money if any of them fathers had the custody of those children, them girls would not have been involved in this situation. Because I know that's what people love to dump on the fathers, especially ones that ain't there. I bet money if them fathers are actually black men, that none of them doors would have been involved in that situation had they been in that black man's home. And that's real talk. Y'all have if you like this type of content, I mean, you ain't gonna get no better version of it than right here. So you might as well subscribe to the channel. Y'all, we do this every day, 9 a.m. Chicago time. Not where you happen to live, Chicago time. We'll see you tomorrow. Long live the habitual line steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right. And I'm out.